There's the lift off. I just got a punch as well from one of our panellists, as you've seen. We're, what are we, a couple of minutes late, guys. But we are with you. Racing Post Live in association with Betfair. Dave Orton back in the seat. Another Saturday. And, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, it all seems forgiven now, doesn't it? That horrible annus horribilis of a day that we had when nothing turned up last Saturday was different class. Can we possibly repeat it today? Shishkin back out to play in the Tingle Creek with... or are you going to lay the button? Jonbon comes out to play as well. Very, very popular. We might even pop over to Fairy House to see Faisal Vega stroll through the park in his maiden hurdle for you as well. We've got some brilliant racing today, even going over the national fences as well. Don't forget, like and subscribe. This is an interactive show. You can get your shouts out. It's the place to be. Raucous Reaction will tell you where to put your money and also what happened to it after the race, hopefully in the right order. Of course, we play for charity here. Safe gambling is what we're all about at Betfair and, of course, Racing Post as well. Don't play in every single race, but we will be putting up some trades and tips for you as well. Let us know where you're watching. I've seen some great chat as well already on YouTube from where people are, and we're going to reference that as well. Great to have you along. Let's do it, shall we? How many races have we got today? Let's ask Natalie Green. How many races have we got today?
Oh, I don't know.
Great to have Nat Green back with us. On form as well.
I don't know. How many?
You got a punch in there. The arm. Nat treats me like this a lot.
It was an endearing punch. It was like, go get it, Dave.
It felt like more like a flu jab than an endearing punch.
It was like, you got this, Dave.
I've got this.
Dave.
And you were also chatting to the man on your left, Robbie Wilders.
Robbie always educates me on things I don't know about. So it's this Spotify thing where you can pick your top songs. So
it's called a rap, isn't it?
Wrapped, yeah. 93,000 minutes of listening for me this year.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's just 65 days.
You spend a lot of time on Boris bikes. You probably listen to a lot of it there,
yeah, always on at work as well, yeah. Just focuses my mind.
Talk about focusing your mind. Your tipping's been quite good recently, hasn't it?
I've done all right lately, isn't I, mate? Yeah.
Well,
yes.
And the anti-postman, as Robbie is known, is...
It's taken long enough for me to start living up to Tom Collins, but...
Well, quite absolutely.
A long way more to go, that's
you were the ready-made replacement. It's nice of you to dress up to us today as well, your health and well-being.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know if anyone's got any viewers, I'd probably be wearing T-shirts, but apparently there's going to be a new policy where we've got to wear collars from now on.
And it's the chain, and it's the beard, and it's the weird haircut.
Senior video producer, Kieran, but I ain't going to dispute that.
You can. We've got the HR department at the Racing Post is legendary. Talking about legendary, who remembers Cheltenham weekend? We were Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and insufferably standing in for Barry Orr, who continues. He'll be at Sandown today, the great man, for the Betfair Tingle Creek, of course. It's James Millman comes back in the show, and somehow you're on a 4-timer nap.
Yeah, somehow, and I should have gone for Jonbon to keep that run going.
Filthy man that you are.
It's a cracking Betfair Exchange day because we've got two high-class horses, Ahoy Senor and Shishkin, who both had shockers last time they were seen in the track, and they are ones that you want to be watching live and seeing whether you're happy about it travelling after the first few fences or clicking the lay button. So it is a day where Barry will be coming into his own, but I'm Betfair Barry again for just a one day.
Well, you've been doing a sterling job. You and Mark Ross have been covering it. Barry will be back next weekend, guys. A rare day off from the track for him, but this is what you might. This is a power time for Betfair at the moment. The sponsor putting their money where their mouth is. All these big races. Oh my God, Constitution Hill was good, guys, wasn't he? You were there, Natty.
I know. God, I went squeaky then. I had to modify my tweet, but because I was like best day I've ever had on a race course, but it really was.
Was it?
Yeah, no, it was because like Michael Buckley was just adorable. His wife was amazing. The mother was there. The sister was there. They all like came over and hugged me, and JP was good crack.
I saw you interviewed JP.
Oh, it was gorgeous, and David Thorpe, wonderful David Thorpe of Arca, take him up to the box, say hi to them. So yeah, for me,
he looked like he was quite enjoying your engagement as well.
He was really good crack, probably more off air actually.
Imagine Wilder's putting a mic in his face.
Well, I had more time.
I was actually watching the telly. I saw you on it. I was like, oh, I know her.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want to do it at first, but I was like, come on, Jet. And it was just one of those days, Dave, where the atmosphere in the parade ring, I don't know.
Best hurdler you've ever seen? A lot of talk about that this week.
Seeing as I'm so young, yes.
He's only raced 4 times. In fact, it was this weekend, this day, wasn't it? Last year where he strutted his stuff.
He's quite effortless. Like, one thing I would say is he just doesn't really take a blow. Like, he doesn't get tired.
That seems to be the professionals' amazement about him, and they all say that. We spoke to Johnny Burke yesterday, big day for Johnny at Sandown, expecting when his red-hot jockey, he rode in the race, and he goes, it's his temperament.
He just comes into the paddock and he's just like, oh yeah. And I went at 7 a.m. in the morning to do a piece with
Saw those lovely bits.
And like he just stands there with grass coming out his mouth, like.
chilled out operator.
Bit like Nat, and so the constitute, he's the equine Nat Green.
Well, I said that because I was talking about their constitution, but I slightly got it mixed up. And Michael Buckley was like, "Well, yes, Leftont's a girl, and obviously he's a boy." And I was like, "No, I didn't mean like that. I meant, yeah, kind of how you meant."
And of course, we think that we've seen something special. We'll get a word on that. We'll get a word from you guys. Of course, Honeysuckle comes out to play tomorrow, doesn't she? Isn't it brilliant? All of a sudden, we're moaning about the jumps game, guys. It's all going to disarray. Will Shishkin turn up? Will Edwardstone turn up? All that sort of thing. The ground is good, and we've only got to wait a week. She went all the way out to 4-5 to 1. Would you believe it? The dual champion hurdler, the Queen, comes back tomorrow in the Hatton's Grace. Few people taking her on there as well. Brilliant days racing at Ferry House tomorrow. We can talk all about that. But we must hone in on the first. It's the Many Clouds Chase. And James has already referenced there's a bubble that, I don't know, needs to put itself back intact because it was burst when the Charlie Hall, he was really well backed to Senior for that, wasn't he? We'll get to Nat in a minute about this because she knows this horse almost as well as anyone. Will she be playing it like James Millman?
First of all, do you want the 4 Lucky 15?
Should we get that out of the way?
Just get that out of the way. Sounds Russian, leg 1. We'll talk about that in a minute. Percussion in the Becher is leg 2. Got 6 places in the sportsbook for the Becher. Harbour Lake is the nap of the day, 4 to 1, and Hermes Boy at Sandown 5 to 1. So £1 each way, Lucky 15. Currently 3,900 if they all pop in. So that is the Lucky 15 multiple for Betfair this afternoon.
And in case James whittled through them so quickly as we are coming up to the race, there they are on the screen. James is Lucky 15. Again, guys, if you don't want to, if you're not sure about today, and there are some small fields, some hot pots, aren't there, and some tricky races, which hopefully we're going to help you solve, that's your small outlay for a lovely return. And there's 2 of them that I fancy on there, and including in this opener as well. And is he going to be the first trade of the day in December?
It is. We're going to go £20 win on Sounds Russian, who hasn't really been seen in strong races yet compared to some of the rivals, but has done whatever he's been asked, and I thought that was a really good return. Reeves always talked about his horse as potentially a decent type. I remember at Seville when he started and he bulldozed most of the kind of the small hurdles they've got there, and he's just come on leaps and bounds. Ahoy Senor, if we have the horse that won at Aintree back in April, I think he will win, but he ballooned most of his fences at Wetherby. He never looked particularly happy, and he was beat a long, long way. So he's best watched to me. Noble Yates back on track after disappointing France trip last time. Obviously, Many Clouds went on to win this race after winning the Grand National, but historically they've not got the best of records. Chantry House, how he managed to win on trials day at Cheltenham, I don't know, when he beat Santini.
Well, that's how he managed to win.
0 interest throughout the race and pulled up in the Gold Cup. The market, he's 8.2. He's drifted dramatically, actually. Chantry House suggests that whatever ability he had back in his younger days might not be existing at the moment.
All right, so Sounds Russian. Now, your horse to follow, it was Pinned Clip, wasn't it? It was this show. I asked you for one to follow. Me, you and Kate were in, weren't we?
Yeah.
And you went for?
Ahoy Senor.
And who are you going for today?
I've been to see him, hadn't I, at Lucinda's. Ahoy Senor had done in 5 bags of Skittles or something in the Charlie Hall. He was lost the plot, wasn't he?
Lucinda called him an idiot to me.
He was just, because he was being so stupid. He was being unruly and stupid. It was too bad to be true. I don't believe a horse of his talent can lose their talent overnight. Look, he just lost the plot. He really lost the plot. So I'm not going to sit here and say I don't think Ahoy Senor can win, because I've loved this horse since before he went to Carlisle. I absolutely love this horse. I'm very keen on Sounds Russian. When Ruth Jefferson has one, she has one. There's so much to like about this horse. That Kelso of watching that was likeable. The fashion that horse won. This is a much stiffer task, but I think he's up to it, and I think all the right sounds have been made about Sounds Russian. I like that.
Hey.
Very good.
Chantry House, I can't have him. Egg on face who wins, but I still wouldn't have him. Lacked absolute fluency last time, didn't like the rhythm. Noble Yates can't be ruled out. Emmett Mullins, I would never. I mean, goodness me, that man can...
Has he been back, James?
Noble Yates, yes. I put £20 on Sounds Russian at 6.6, went out to 9 within about 2 minutes. He's the one that's weak, but Noble Yates is 3 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, he's
They're coming from, aren't they?
Gold Cup horse. We should probably take it. No, what, 66 to 1 or something for the Gold Cup?
I think you're brave if you're going down that road.
You're very brave. You're very
He's only
brave.
a 7-year-old, and this was Protectorate's race last year. Robbie, just quickly, what do you like?
Yeah, I really like this race. Well, when I looked at it a couple of days ago, Ahoy Senor was almost touching even money.
Yeah, he was.
Now he's
Big
much
drifter.
more like the price he should be.
3.45 he's gone out to Ahoy Senor.
That's more like it.
I'd like to see him.
I probably wouldn't put people off for that price, but I thought it was pretty open, to be honest. I mean, there's only £4 between all of them on official figures. I know a horse Senior loves it at Aintree, but you've got 4 other course winners in here.
Do you know my worry about him? Have you given a tip yet? Sorry.
No, I haven't, mate, but please.
No, well, I was going to say he might get taken on, and Lucinda thought he hated being taken on. There he is
There you
now.
go,
Is
we'll
it?
see him.
That's what I was going to
Is
say.
it going to be your mate Sam
I
Brown?
was thinking Dashel Drasher might go. I've always thought Dashel Drasher was one that's interesting over 3 miles.
What wins?
I think Dashel or Sam Brown.
Nice, so you can Dutch those two, can't you? That means back in the pair of
Sam
them.
Brown is just...
Come
Come
on,
on,
we're about to
Ahoy,
go
though.
off.
Keep your lid on.
He's rapidly improving, even though he's 10.
Let's get some socials in. Who's going to open up the floor? Paul Bakewell, one of our regulars, says it must be Christmas as you can get 15 to 8 on Ahoy Senior. Love it, or Shoy Senior. And it's
Oh, no,
stomping
he was terrible
ground
there,
as well.
guys. He was
Oh,
terrible.
no.
What's he gone out to on Betfair
He
after that first
spewed,
jump?
he
Still
blew
only
off.
fours.
He
Fours
wasn't
at the minute.
concentrating.
Right,
He
this is key.
absolutely ballooned it, and he
Sounds
spewed.
Russian is in last. We can say that. Let's go on over then.
Oh,
Oh my
Ahoy.
lord,
Nah,
Ahoy Senior.
it's not good.
Now he was a bit sketchy as a novice, wasn't he? And how's he going to come back this horse? I mean, look, he loves Aintree. This horse. He's now got into the lead, which is I think what they wanted in the Charlie Hall. But he got taken on throughout that. Noble Yates sits in second. Interestingly, Dashel Drasher electing to take a lead here. Chantry House, who Nicky Henderson. I mean, look, we've called him loads of names.
No,
but Nicky
go on.
Henderson has been saying he's been absolutely barnstorming for him, leading into this. This is his one coming back. Sam Brown on the outside, a little bit closer than he can be, and Sounds Russian at the rear. All right, James, we've seen the order. He's Horlicked a couple, but he's still not gone that big.
No, he's only gone half a point bigger than the off, 3.9. Our favourite is Noble Yates, who's in second place, 3.3. Sounds Russian, I love him, so I'm happy where he is at the back of the field.
You're loving it.
I'm not,
Yeah.
not worried.
Do you love anything?
No, not well, he's 13s now. They're not liking him at all.
Cold-blooded gentleman, isn't
Dead Inside, Rosie Martinson called him. I loved referencing that. Do you remember we were on the show
It was
together?
so funny.
How we kept it together, I don't know. She's
cheat lot.
marvellous, isn't she? Right, OK, on we go. Now, Ahoy Senior's going. Nat, right, this is Ahoy Cam. All right, you're on it.
Look, he's jumping to the right. All the
Oh,
fences.
Chantry's gone.
Oh, that was a horrible bounce.
Goodbye.
That was a
James Bowen out the
horrible
saddle, I'm
bounce
afraid,
for
on
James
Chantry.
Bowen. Ahoy, look, Derek Fox, I mean, look, it's just quite a big, unruly horse, isn't he? Like, I don't think you've got much chance. You just got to try and keep him as straight as possible. Watch him going right all the time, all the time. He's gone right to every single fence, which I don't love.
He has done this before, though.
Of course he has.
And you can see
He's
why he's
jumping a
not
bit
gone
better.
out to like 8s or 9s, because he's getting the uncontested lead.
Yeah, no one's taking him on, which is the good thing. But each time he's losing momentum and losing a bit of ground. But he is within his means. Noble Yates is our warm favourite, 2.7. Threes for Ahoy Senior. 7.8 Sounds Russian.
Now look at Rex Dingle on Dashel Drasher, who is a grinding horse, and he's thinking, right, I'm not going to let this chap have it all his own way. We know he sulked a little bit when he was taken on, but this is a dual Grade 1 winner, guys. We're talking about an Ahoy Senior. They thought he would need his comeback in the Charlie Hall, despite the fact he was poured by the public money. But they were despondent by it, so he's got to bounce back here. Real acid test here, and we're watching out the back, guys, aren't we, on Sounds Russian? And again, I'm not sure like James, I'm loving it, but he's doing everything
Good
right.
boy, that's better now. Derek's just got him into a little...
Sam Brown's beat.
Sam Brown's got a real...
Hang on a minute, you're doing a Dave
you're
Orton.
still
We've
with
got a
us.
circuit to go here, haven't we?
yeah, but...
Yeah, he's not beat.
And he's getting a reminder of a circuit to go.
Can we just get that
Okay,
clipped up,
normally
please?
doesn't it?
Millman
Normally
says
does
with a
travel.
circuit to
Fair.
go that Sounds Russian is beat.
Sam Brown.
Dashel Drasher enjoying himself.
This is the key. He did say Sam Brown. We have had it confirmed. Your professional reputation is in tatters if this gets
Sounds
up.
Russian's travelling lovely.
He's lovely, absolutely. But again, Callum Bewley, this is his big ride now, isn't it, for Callum? This is the one, I think. This is the poster boy. And we know we're waiting patiently. She can take these out. This is certainly a good deal more competitive than it was last year when Protectorat just romped away. Now, this will be very interesting. Of course, Noble Yates has done what Many Clouds did. Many Clouds became the first national winner to follow up for ages. They've modified the race now. It's a little bit easier for them to do it. But to bounce back like he did last time was a great feat. And he's going really well on the inside as well. What was that about?
I just want Ahoy to get his head together. He goes short.
I
and he
think
gets,
we're going to be
he's
waiting a
fine.
long time for Ahoy to get his head together, right?
Yeah, I'd be like him if I was a horse.
And now Dashel Drasher eyeballs him. Let's see how he responds. What does that mean?
Aren't they such different gated, these horses? You know, Dashel Drasher's sort of that real, like, you know, his legs are lower to
Rangy.
the ground. He's a bit more of a grinder, whereas Ahoy's quite, he's got a lot of presence about him, a lot more elevated. It's nice to see them both
Nice
there.
insight, yeah.
Eyeballing
Such
each
physical
other.
insight we
Picked
get
up
with
on
that.
that, yeah.
No, they're just a really different look. They're
Yeah, I see what you mean.
such a different running style, both horses. It's nice to see them next to each other.
We're not just trying to raise your profile, of course, when we put
Oh,
you
I
on
don't
these
want
shows.
that,
We're
mate.
also trying to give you an education. So the more you listen, the better it will be for
Yeah.
everyone. Sounds Russian
Nice
put in
to
a
learn the
beauty
check
there,
points,
James, didn't he?
Yeah, he's still happy there, I think, just getting a lead.
What about Noble Yates now in the market?
4.9, he's on the drift, our back marker, 5.7. They're all happy with their Hoy Senior. I'm not as happy as the market, 2.5.
I'd be very happy with it. Now I'm starting to love Sounds Russian. He was a little bit close there.
Yeah, I like him.
These mile-made fences, they are tricky, aren't they? They're very upright. They can catch a lot of people out. You know, we saw that with Chantry, didn't we? But this would have been the big question mark for Sounds Russian. He is jumping beautifully on the inside. All to play for then, James, with around about 5 to jump.
Yeah, 2.9 our Hoy Senior has been pretty solid with the circuit to go. 4.8 Noble Yates, now 4.2 Sounds Russian. He's shortening in the market, having hit 13 in the run.
Bit of Birch coming out there.
We've got Jonbon Philby clipping up on social for us. He's on our social team and he says Ahoy looks better and better. I'm not sure, Jonbon, because now Dashel goes on and now they're racing. If Sam Brown was thinking about it on the first circuit, you might finally be right, James Millman. Noble Yates in the slipstream, then continue to draw our eyes towards Sounds Russian. Rob, if you had to call it now.
Dashel.
Dashel all the way. Rob's getting
It's
excited.
also just going to keep finding.
This will be the first time
Always
Robbie
does.
Wilders has ever kicked off the show with a winner. If Dashel
I
Drasher
think
and the
Ahoy
yellow
will
cap goes
stay
on.
there.
not true.
Ahoy will stay there.
I'm very, very happy with Sounds Russian, but now he's just starting to
news.
shake away Callum Bewley.
Yeah,
He's going
what
to have
it-
to find a bit more.
What will he find? That is the question mark. He's never
Look
really
at Dashel
tested.
Drasher, he's
Exactly,
in great
yeah,
form.
I
Now
mean-
will the national winner come? Let's find
Come
it.
on,
3 out
Ahoy,
there.
keep
Off we
it
go.
together.
Very good jump. Ahoy, Senor, the engine's
He
there.
should pull clear. Ahoy
These
should pull
the
clear.
two front runners at the moment. Sounds Russian's been caught out of it, as has Noble Yates. This is
Come
two
on,
out there.
Foxy!
Here we go, off we go,
Get him
off
up.
we go. Dashel
get
Drasser,
some.
one of the
Come on,
toughest
Derek.
horses in training. Sounds Russian trying,
it's
he's
gonna be
probably just
close.
been outclassed. Okay, at the moment it's
Noble
Dashel
Yates
Drasher. I
standing
think
up.
Ahoy's going to do this,
Go
guys.
on, Derek.
Lucinda Russell in that
Where's
camper
that
van will be
stamina? Go on,
beeping the
Dashel.
horn.
Come on,
There
mate.
comes
Noble
Noble
Yates is
Yates.
coming. Oh,
What
Noble
a
Yates has
turn
got
of
this.
foot by
Wow.
Noble Yates.
Wow.
This is a rocket.
Wow.
Look at this. This is a sprinter.
Oh, God. Go long, go
He
long.
got
Ah!
it. Oh, wow, unbelievable scenes for the first time in our Racing Post Live. He looked like he was struggling about 2 out. He gave him a proper backhander, and away he went.
Oh, Dashel's
That was like,
second as well.
so talk about sectionals all of a sudden for jumps, aren't we?
That
Because
was
of
a
Constitution
crazy,
Hill.
like, half furlong, wasn't it?
How the hell? I'd love to see. How quick did he go?
I'd like to see some
Emmett
times.
Mullin,
there.
there's something magical about. I mean,
Sean Bowen, what
I
a
do not
tune he
understand
got out of him.
Noble
Let's go to
Yates.
James Millman then, because that must have been carnage.
14.5 did Noble Yates hit in the run. That was probably with 3 to jump, where he was in 4th place and looked probably beaten at the time. Ahoy Senior, they were happy enough. 1.52 he went in the run, and Dashel Drasher for Robbie, he hit only 2.1. So cracking finish, but Noble Yates, the Grand National might not be the race it was, and the fact that the horse has never done anything afterwards, winning that. That's 2 wins on the board for him this
I'm
season.
happy with my 66 to 1 for the Gold Cup, by the way.
He's now put himself in the picture for that.
Place. I am. I'm happy with it.
100%.
I'm happy. I'm happy with that.
That was a proper turn of foot. That.
This is a strange horse because, like, really, he's pretty exposed, but he keeps pulling out these unbelievable
Look at him
performances,
here.
doesn't he?
Yeah, and
But he
I
throws
mean,
in a stinker as well. Like, Ahoy Senior was so much better than him when they met at Weatherby.
yeah, I'm seeing in the chat that
Brilliant.
Sam Caney, one of the judges out there, Sam, he says Gold Cup now, so that's telling you that they're basically
I'm just
66
checking
to
now
1.
if there's-
However, Dashel Drasher would be your benchmark for the form. Ahoy Senor, we're just seeing how good he is now, really, aren't we? I mean, he's got a little bit of a kink, hasn't he? But
It's the beginning of the race. He can't keep doing that in the early stages. Violently right, balloons, gets in tight. I mean, yes, he got better and better and better through that race, but you can't keep doing that over in these big races against these horses.
I mean, probably the classiest national winner we've seen in many years was Tiger Roll, wasn't it? This
Yeah.
guy's now up there with him,
Yeah.
I think, isn't he?
That was I was just trying to check actually on the
We've got to go
Well,
to...
well.
Where are we going after this?
Gold Cup.
We're going to
Back to Sandown.
down
We're going to
Ireland,
Sandown.
aren't
yeah.
we?
See, he's gone off
Are we
already.
going to go to one? Has he?
Betting, has
What
he?
is he?
10 to 1 is Noble Yates for the Gold Cup.
Now 66 into
66
10s.
yesterday.
Blimey, dear.
Is 10 a bit of an overreaction?
Yeah.
I'd say
Tens is a
Yes.
bit... What? Is that what he is on the sportsbook? Tens?
Sportsbook, yeah.
Tens?
Tens is an overreaction.
The thing is now with the Gold
yeah.
Cup is that everyone was expecting Al Plutard to come through the Betfair Chase it's now wide open, isn't it?
Well, who are you more impressed with, Protectorat or Noble Yates?
How can you have those two?
Or long press.
Long press. Well, long press is 7s, the other 2 are 10s.
That turn of foot
Protectorat, I don't know.
was a bit
Protectorat,
mental,
That
wasn't
was
it?
impressive, yeah, but Protector.
But was it a turn of foot?
Protectorat
when
was
they
way more
go for the
impressive.
times? Because Sounds Russian, he looked was going to drop away, and he wasn't that far away from the 2nd and 3rd. So I think they've weakened quite dramatically. You got
Yeah.
racing away out. Noble Yates has got the 4 mile 2 furlong stamina from the Grand National. I think it's probably a little bit of an illusion as a turn of foot as such. I think
Yeah.
as the other 2 just tired. In
And
that
he did
run.
have moments
We
where
wanted
he
to
looked
take
like
on
he
a
was
hoist and yawl.
off the bridle a bit.
We were pretty right there. We didn't really see Noble Yates. He was the one for money, so the late money again on the exchange has shown the way. And yeah, Emmett's horses, when they get back like that, people just think religiously they win, don't they? And he came over to, was it Huntingdon in the week or something like that?
Wincanton.
We couldn't see anything.
Patrick and
I think that was Charlie Post's tip.
Wow.
Noble
okay.
Yates, well done, Posty.
Posty,
Shout
there
out
we
to
are.
the-
All right.
to the
Okay,
s-
fair
to
enough.
the B-Tech postman.
Indeed. All right. Okay, we're having fun here. Great to see you're all out there watching. Happy days. Let us know you're out there. Press that. What did you make of that? Did we
As
just
the
see a
Whaley
Gold Cup
Cohen's in
contender? When was the last
pictures?
time a Grand National winner won a Gold Cup? Blimey, that's going back, isn't it? All right. Look, we've got to move on. Sandown comes up. It's Grade 1 time. We go from what probably should have been a Grade 1. Really good to see Dasher Drasher back, by the way. There's another good prize in him, probably at Ascot. And Hoisin, he's going to struggle to win one, isn't he? And Sounds Russian, I don't know. There'll have to be another project there.
Probably
You
just-
just-
perhaps not
he
quite
just
good
lacked
enough.
the pace, didn't he?
Yeah, but I like the way he did actually find again near the end. So maybe experience gained from taking on
I
top
wonder if he
class.
could be a national horse, potentially.
Yeah, potentially
Never
so.
knew.
All right, okay. All right, we've got to move on because Jonbon comes out to play. Jonbon.
Jonbon.
Matty Batchelor, actually,
Jonbon.
without being
Jonbon.
prompted, just called him Jonbon. We went, sorry.
Je.
He
No,
did it, Jonbon.
nothing
wouldn't
is
accept-
ever going to be, ever. What were you calling it? Ribbons?
Oh, the blue ribbons.
Nothing is going to
The
be
blue ribbons.
ribbons.
Yes, indeed, and the pomme
And
de
the
terre.
Classic.
gimcrack as well, eh?
All right, okay. It's good fun. It's good. Look, all right, come on. We've got to work out how to play this because we've got the Arkle favourite coming out to play. Now, David Jennings, our Irish deputy, we know that the Irish are stronger in the novice chase. You just have to look at the Drimmoor tomorrow when you see what was running at Newbury last weekend, novice chases. But this chap is the real deal, isn't he? And he came out, a lot of people weren't sure about him. He got a little bit unlucky with Constitution Hill, take out the hill, of course. He went and won at Aintree, showed he could go up in trip. At Warwick, he did everything right. You're just putting him up as a... I mean, he can't put him up as a trade, can he? What about length
I'm
in the
afraid
odds?
it's going to be a no-bet race for me and a watch.
You're not even going length in the odds. You don't think he's going to be
Nah.
that impressive?
I like Boot Hill as an individual.
Everyone likes Boot Hill. At
But he's
Ascot
not-
last time, he was a bit of a rocket,
I don't
wasn't
think
he?
he's quite good enough to beat Jonbon, and the forecast is pretty skinny. So 1.2 is Jonbon if you are going to go in an exchange. 7.6 for Boot Hill.
Well, let's try and talk you into making a trade, all right? Because two people, we do fancy a forecast. We know that you've got a history of these multiples,
do.
right? You and Robbie are agreeing on the forecast. You think it'll be
Yeah,
unexpected
followed me in,
party?
didn't she? Yeah, I like this horse. Yeah.
You did get in there first, I
I
have to
was
say.
plenty
he?
surprised. Yeah.
I did a podcast yesterday.
Oh.
No,
At
listen-
10
no,
a.m.
listen to that one, though.
No.
This is where you get your insight. Oh,
Apparently you were innuendoing all over it again, weren't you?
Me?
Yeah, apparently.
Innuendos.
Apparently he's been quoted for the King George as well, by the way.
I only said
Noble
Wizard
Yates and
Willie.
Yeah,
Wizard
yeah.
Willie.
What is he on the sports book for that? Just
I
quickly
will.
before we go to Jonbon.
Just go and get the King George up.
I'm
There
hearing
we are,
he's
Robbie.
sixes.
Have a look at
Oh,
our, second.
Kieran Thurwood is
Oh,
saying
he's
he's
looking
sixes.
good.
Looking good,
Doing a
looking
job for you
good.
again,
Lovely
James.
old
Well,
tap.
to be honest, I wouldn't give him a hope in the King George. He ain't quick enough.
Well, it doesn't matter. We asked you for what price he was, not
Yes,
your
because
personal opinion.
I didn't think he
We
would
haven't
be
got time. We've got
quoted.
the Arkle favourite coming out now.
He is 5. 5-4 Braesman gain. Long Press A 3-1. I don't think he'll be going. Hitman 7-2. Envoy Allen 5s with Noble Yates.
It's going to cut up again, isn't it?
12s Protector Rats. Frodon 14s and 20s and
Whaley
bigger
Cohen's will
arrests.
be thrilled with this
Good
purchase.
news, those was a bat Hitman at 20 to 1 though, mate. Eh?
Yeah, you're on that Hitman. You're on that
yeah.
Keeley
Is Robbie going to
bandwagon.
take the floor for our forecast then?
Go on then, go for it. I've asked him 3 times.
Can I have my moment in the sun?
You can.
Yeah, unexpected party. I'm surprised he's as big in relation to Boot Hill. You're not
No
agreeing
chance.
with that, no? Well, Dave's off the screen going like that, but nah,
No.
don't listen to him, right?
I
Superior
thought the forecast was pretty obvious here.
Superior hurdler
No.
to Boot Hill.
Look at the McFabulous form.
Look back at that race. 1-1 for the
It's the
in
Skeltons.
running.
They've got a plan for unexpected
It's
party.
yeah, I thought this was
And
it.
No, this is
Oh, right,
they've got a
so
good
right,
handicap
what
in
you're
mind for this
telling
chap.
me is, yeah,
Well, it's
he's not
1.66
revved up to win this.
for Boot Hill to be second.
That's what I thought.
And 5s on the exchange. If
So
you
you,
wanna
you
go
are
for
both.
that.
We've got a
That's
forecast
value,
head-to-head going
Yeah.
on here.
He traded at 1.4 in running over 2 mile free to meet McFabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because they were all wondering all over.
Were
the
we
place
all
there,
blown
so-
away by Jonbon? Can we just agree with that?
Yeah.
We were just. It was.
No, I
beautiful.
wasn't blown away.
You weren't blown away.
I was.
It was-
What
it was,
more
like,
did you
impressive,
want?
yeah.
What
Beautiful.
more do you want?
Nothing more.
So you weren't impressed.
No, whoa. I said I was impressed, but blown away is different, isn't it?
But what did you want to see?
Well, Constitution Hill, like that blew me away.
What
He
more
did
you want
exactly
to
what he
see
should have
than-
done, but he shouldn't have been put in 2 to 1 favourite for the Arkle.
Well, this is the horse that's got closest to Constitution, isn't it?
Yeah, 22 lengths, yeah, but.
Yeah, the Arkle always puts them.
That
There'll be
wasn't.
hardly anyone in the Arkle. Jonbon would
This
win
is the
it.
thing. A lot
There'll be
of
hardly
people
anyone in
sneered
it.
at the 2 to 1, including you.
Yeah, I still do.
we
I
know
wrote
what
that
in
in the
it?
preview yesterday.
I know.
There'll be no one in it.
He's got to get there.
No.
5 runners.
You wanted to put him up, didn't you? You wanted to put
I
him
wanted
up.
to- my-
And why didn't you? Go on, say it.
Why? Because I just thought.
No, you spoke to someone about it, didn't you?
Oh,
You
what is this guy?
Someone thought he might be a bit soft. I don't think he's soft.
Someone.
I don't think he's soft.
I think
He
he's
was a
really,
former champion jockey.
I think he's a really good horse, but wait and see till he meets the Irish.
2 miles, they're
Early
not got
days.
much.
It's early days.
No, this one is staying home. This one is staying home. But you're right. Who's taken the big prices about Jonbon out there? What was he 6s at the start of the season, wasn't he, or something like that, into 9-2. Then all of a sudden after Warwick, smashed into 2-1. And a lot of people sneered at that, thinking it's a long way off. But if you look at how it's cut up, your Sprinter years, your Simon Siggs, I don't know, even what was the footpad? He was really short, wasn't he? It can all cut up, So you could be looking at 3s on
So
shots.
basically, you've got 2 ways of playing this. So you can go Jonbon, Boot Hill, Unexpected Party. Literally, you could do that 3, or you can go what Wilders and I are doing. We're doing Jonbon, Unexpected Party. So there is a bit of fun to be had with this.
And the other plays win by over 5 lengths on the exchange. 1.6 yes, 2.6 no for Jonbon today.
Okay.
He probably will win by 5 lengths, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm expecting 5 lengths, I think.
Because this
we did this with
this
Constitution.
isn't really a Grade 1, is it?
But I think Boot Hill will
He's a great
follow
horse.
it on. Really impressed. Again, spoke to Johnny Burke
a
about
lovely
him.
horse.
Johnny's just got. I almost said to him, this is like a free hit in a Grade 1.
Right.
He's got Dunvegan coming up, of course, in the Tangle Creek. Now that is a free run.
Tangle Creek, no, that
in the
one.
Tangle Creek. That's.
Do you
we had someone watching from Perth earlier, by
Dave's
the way.
been to Australia?
I've never been to Perth, by the way.
The
We've got a viewer
Tangle
from Perth
Creek.
on the line. All right, hang on a minute. Okay, right, Chris Tim's come on. Chris, one of our regulars, Man United supporter, says, Jonbon bolts up with a clear round. Look at that lovely graphic.
Thought
There
he'd get
he
out
is.
the front
Off
where
he
he
goes,
needs
and
to
they're
be.
keeping it simple again. They know it's going to be a bit of a Mickey Mouse race. I'll tell you what, it's interesting. I thought the outsider might go on with it on a de Jonc, but no, he's going to sit it out the back.
Nah, it's dead.
Over he goes, very beautiful over the first. And Johnny Burke said to me yesterday, I will have a target on Jonbon's back. Well, at the moment, it's one of around about 3 lengths. Unexpected Party, who Nat and Robbie think will pick up the pieces a second, ping that in 3rd place. And as I said, the David Noonan, who of course Roby mastered to place in the Coral Gold Cup last Saturday, sits out the back on a de Jonc. James, I mean...
He's gone 1.2 to 1.16.
Seismic.
Seismic, yeah.
I guess it's the money buyers going, right, so he's got four
The
legs
first
and he's
two,
out
you
in front.
couldn't say any negatives at all, could you? He's
Can you just
shot
say the
lovely, looks
outsider
happy.
again?
Why? What's wrong with
Just
it?
like
on
it.
a de Jonc.
The Zonk.
On a de Jonc. Honestly, some of the pronunciations we had last Saturday were mind-boggling. And away we go. And again, he's just been out to do his own thing. He's not going fast at all. If you believe the RTV
Follow
clock,
my
then,
leader.
he's not even going 30
Follow
miles
my
an hour, is he? I mean, I thought I would see this as an Unexpected Party. I think there is a target. He was a target hurdler for them in handicaps. Yeah, you don't reckon it. But, and I know we call her the exotic queen. The exotic bet queen, of course. And we are now going on to the far side. Look at this beautiful sight, isn't
Isn't
it?
he gorgeous?
And what I like about Jonbon and the placing of him so far, Warwick is one of the toughest tests for a novice chaser. If you get through that, you should be enjoying the railway fences, which are about to come up on the far side. And Boot Hill doing everything right so far as well. He's run about 6 lengths back. Has Boot Hill come in a little bit yet, James, or not at all?
It's static. He's just out to 1.2, Jonbon 6.6 Boot Hill.
God, he's good,
Ours
isn't
is
he?
a little bit slow in the air,
God, he's
Wilders.
good.
Yeah.
Are we going to see that 2-1 now vanish in front of our eyes if he comes through this as
I'll
expected?
keep it open for you. the
Thank you
page.
very much, James. Please do. All right,
We need to
Robbie.
pick up the
He
tempo.
needs to keep tabs on these two.
Robbie, you're not impressed at all with Jonbon for some reason.
No, that's not what I said.
We're not
wasn't
impressed
blown
with
away.
Unexpected Party. We
I wasn't
want
blown away.
Look, again, egg on face
I'll
on
get
it.
probably
He
only
might
get-
still come, you never know.
I only get blown away 3 or 4 times a season.
Now we're at the railway fences, and then Boot Hill trying to just apply a little bit of pressure now. Honor de Jonc has actually taken the measure, I think, of Unexpected Party, who is getting the hurry up. Jonbon, though, look at those ears. They are
No, isn't he
humongous.
gorgeous?
He's got a right old set of ears on him, that bloke. Over he goes, and these are the real sticky ones, aren't they? And Unexpected Party wasn't great over that, but he's still coming back for 3rd in between
Looks
them.
like he's gained a bit of ground, the party.
Yeah, because Jonbon's just put the
Needs
brakes
to.
on a little bit, hasn't he?
He's jumping to the right a bit, Unexpected Party, down
This
these
is
railway
usually a
fences.
key fence. This is just
Like
4
Dave
out,
says,
isn't
they're
it?
tricky, these.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that was 4 out. But Boot Hill, you listen, he's
Well, he's
risen up the
travelling
handicap.
nicely. If you didn't know the history of the 2 horses, you'd be quite happy.
You're right.
Oh, look
You're
at this.
right.
All of a sudden, he's let out an inch of radiating Coleman. He's taken about 2 lengths out of
1.1.
Boot Hill. Boot Hill, they thought would
It's a
be a
good
supreme
horse,
more
Boot
from when he was
Hill.
younger. He's had his problems, and he's now. I mean, this is training in wake stuff. We've got Shishkin to come up as well, by the way. I got a word out of the stable yesterday about that. I'll let you know on the lead up to the race. What do we do with Shishkin? What do we do with Jonbon for the Arkle? We're coming up to the famous pond fence, which I love to say. They changed the angle very quickly as well. All of a sudden, unexpected party's starting to raise a bit of a gallop here.
No.
But Boot Hill now in second. I'll tell you what.
He might not even get third.
Well, I don't know. Boot Hill's just. Is Boot Hill going to pay for trying to go with Jonbon? Right, we've got 2 left to go. Jonbon's still on the bridle. He's doing it all easy. Now Boot Hill's just got a second wind all of a sudden.
Good lad, go on.
Here we go. Come on then,
got a
Boot Hill.
race
Let's
on
make a
hands
race
here.
of it.
We've got
Jonbon's
a
having to
race on
find a
hands
bit
here.
here. The whip comes out, but he's, again, electric response. And Boot Hill, you have to remember, has been in such a great place. He won as he likes at Newton Abbott.
Go on,
He took
Aidan,
a
get
part
on.
in Ascot
That's a
Handicap.
gorgeous
And
leap.
off he goes. That
Lovely
was absolutely
jump.
brilliant. Unexpected party wants to
having
go
a
the other way
party.
round. He's your grand Daniel horse
Fair
waiting to
enough,
happen.
mate,
And
that's
look
a
at this, a
handicap.
pat down
Hey,
the
good
neck
boy,
for Aidan Coleman.
Jonbon.
And the easiest forecast you will ever see, what was it, 13 to 8, James, something like that? Aye.
1.6.
I mean, we
odds on, mate.
did say you could have gone Jonbon, Boot Hill, unexpected party, but we just
weren't brave enough.
weren't
weren't
old
brave
enough.
enough.
Saying that.
Who else out there did it? We've got Facil
got it
Vega
wrong.
coming up in a couple of minutes. We will switch, but James, it was just easy throughout. And again, this is interesting, isn't it? You don't often see these Hendo novices getting on with it like this. He's a horse that stays.
Well, he's got that cruising speed that puts all the others out of their comfort zone. It's an unexpected party. You couldn't live with the two of them. Boot Hill, I think that was actually a really good run from him.
Massive.
Because 1.35 from the pond fence to 2 outs. A few punters got a little bit twitchy and he did drift out to nearly what he was first thing. But in the end, the way he went up the hill, you couldn't be more impressed. And that Arkle 2-1, that might be disappearing in the next couple of minutes.
It shouldn't, though, off the back of that for me. It shouldn't be disappearing. He was impressive there.
You're suggesting he's beating a handicapper. It's all about the Irish, isn't it, for him?
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't...
A bit of balance, which is what you get on this show.
I don't know, but I haven't got a name for you that's
7
going
to
to
4.
challenge him. But I can guarantee you there's going to
Well, it'll
be
be something
some
out of
horses
Woodies,
we
won't
haven't
it?
seen in Ireland that are very
Really?
good. We'll see him over Christmas.
Sam Caney says a strong gallop in the Arkle will suit him. Beautiful to watch, Sam, wasn't it? Absolutely superb. That was almost going to be your horse to follow, wasn't it, for the season? But
What?
Jonbon.
Oh yeah, but I just thought it was.
A lot of people wondering.
I thought it was
in
so,
between
like,
his
obvious,
ears
do
what
you know
was
what I
going
mean?
on.
Seeing his demeanour in the paddock before racing, you did worry because he went for that gallop near before.
When Boot Hill closed
Newbury.
slightly, and Facil Vega's coming out again, by the way, guys, onto the track at
Yes.
Fairy House, the 1-9 shot. But we'll watch it because it could be Supreme Ripples here coming up. Was there any moment where he just went a little bit high? Because it just looked like all of a sudden the whip came out, didn't it? Great response from Jonbon, by the way.
There's nothing not to like about that performance. Yeah.
Jonbon.
But
Jonbon.
there's something not to like about 2-1 for the Arkle, I'd say.
Well, you
I'll
might need your
remind you of that when we're doing this show on the
expertise.
Tuesday.
I seem to have made the thing a bit big. How do you reduce the?
Oh, this is
Oh,
listen.
you've had
Computer
a Zoom.
says
You've had a Zoom.
no.
I've had a Zoom
Different
issue.
class
I'm not
Jonbon is
good on
indeed.
maths.
All right, okay. Would still like to see El Fabiolo of
perfect.
Woody, says Andrew
When I did, I
Middleton.
think. Perfect, mate. Thank you very much.
Mullins hasn't even laid his
Check
cards on
issues
the
a bit
table
short.
yet, says Joe Holden.
Yeah,
Just
fully
seen the
agreed.
Arkle winner, says Toon.
No, Joe Holden, shout out to Joe Holden there. That's a spot on accusation, not accusation, comment.
Yeah.
1.12 this Facile Vega.
It's fair enough. I mean, it doesn't
He's
look
got
like we've made
to
an
jump round.
All right, okay. 9's on then. Facile Vega finally he comes out to play. They've been waiting for the ground. The champion bumper winner is strutting his stuff at them. I mean,
looks a
American
little bit
Mike hasn't
keen
done a
early on,
great deal for the form, but the
No,
race
he
is
hasn't.
working out very well. Didn't look. American Mike massively disappointing, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Last Sunday.
He ran like a horse that had
He ran like a
something
boat.
wong with him there for sure. I don't know.
know.
I don't know. I mean, that might turn out to be a decent novice hurdle. I mean, I know the horse that won had a very good flat pedigree, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was highly fought for Aidan O'Brien once upon a time.
We're keeping it simple
yeah,
on
it was
Facile
flat.
Vega then. What price is he for the Supreme at the moment? That's a question I will answer.
I'm sure he's around 9 to 4, 2 to 1.
What, for the Supreme?
Yeah.
What,
Which is-
really?
Still a bit short for me.
You don't quite. I mean, they probably will try and keep him at 2 miles for as long as possible. We've got the Royal Bond tomorrow, of course, at Fairy House, and he's got Champ Keeley and the Astro Diamond, the Mare. He's got something else in there.
Yeah. I don't see that they'll step him up in
JPs.
trip unless he's beaten. this
Well, they
season.
like the Irish like to keep them at 2 miles until they have to go up in triple.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's basically the way they do it. But as a champion bumper winner, you've every right to be looking at the Ballymore. You know, so I don't know. We'll have a look at it. And of course, we've got Jet Power that's come out as well, haven't we? So
Yeah, that was impressive.
He was
Yeah,
mighty.
he's,
impressive,
he's best price.
I
Wasn't
know
a
he
brilliant
was.
time, actually.
Yeah, I know he was an
The Mare was
expensive
quicker.
purchase,
The
but
filly Lucia.
Lucia.
Yeah, it was just the substance, wasn't it, of him, and he was
Yeah.
keen, and he's still absolutely
I
tall
like
in
I like that performance.
Yeah, Lucia was impressive, wasn't she?
And he's
also?
obviously
If we had no Mayor's Novice, she would be a supreme contender.
She would be going for like a butterfly route.
But I can't imagine Nikki will go that way.
All being well, you have to admit that Vega probably after this will be going to Leopardstown Christmas meeting. That looks like it's going to be absolutely mouth-watering again. Let's hope we can get some staff for this
I know, I'd like to go over for that.
It's an amazing meeting.
Yeah, I can
really,
imagine
really good.
it's
just
really good.
A lot of Brits don't because it's festive time.
Well,
here,
exactly.
You know, all that sort of
I've got a
thing.
bit home personally.
Dublin,
I mean,
isn't it?
fair enough. Like, if you want to go.
Leopardstown's a great track. It's a great meeting, and then obviously the Dublin Festival is different gravy as well. Now, what's this in second behind Facile?
Smooth player.
Smooth player, who is a bumper winner last year, isn't it, for Gordon Elliott from memory? But Gordon had one slightly shorter in the.
Graham Elliott.
And me, who's just in behind.
Somehow wouldn't suit being a Graham, would he?
A lot of trainers called Graham these days, aren't there?
1.05. You're happy with what you're seeing. He's jumped nicely, isn't he, from the front?
But this guy is, he's out the wonder mare, isn't he? And I mean, everything he's done has been super impressive. The rain came again in the champion bumper, didn't it? And it was just absolute Slotville. And
Slotville.
American Mike looked like he was going well at one point, but he sort of broke him a bit, didn't he?
But what did he make American Mike the other day?
Just a heap.
He stopped very, very quick.
There might be a problem for him in fairness, but
Were you in the
I
room when
wasn't
they
that
spent 10
impressed with him
minutes
at Down
talking
Hall.
about him?
No, he was looking at his laptop was having a few issues, so don't call him out for that if you don't mind. They're ganging up on you.
Natalie, that's not
Ow!
nice.
How's he jumping this,
You can get
buddy?
me
Because
back,
this
get
is
me back.
this is.
Oh,
I mean,
he
he's
had
had
a little
walk
look then.
around then.
He
Little
went,
bit of
which way,
greenness.
A little walk in the park.
A little bit of greenness from Vassal Vega there.
he is
We're looking for
gorgeous
any
though,
kinks
isn't
we
he?
can get. And I'll tell you what, the horse in second under Jack Kennedy, smooth player, hasn't been asked a
Do you
question.
think
but
though,
surely
James,
this
he
is
did
just
that
going to go
there
away
because there was
now,
a
isn't it?
gap in the rails? So you just had a little look, didn't he? Because there was a proper gap in the rails. So it's the only place.
Do you know why Constitution Hill could be so good for racing? Is because we might just start to see horses that want to sort of be as impressive. Do you know what I mean? Just like this horse in particular, you want to see him winning by emphatic distances, don't you? Now the rest are all absolutely out on gas, aren't they? And he is different class.
The
this
engine's
chap.
there, isn't it?
And he's trained by the best jumps trainer of my lifetime. This guy is absolutely different gravy.
Again, though, look at his action. Again, I just love it when they travel like this, really high, like really elevated, like
One
it's
more.
just like there's so much power underneath
He's
him.
getting a bit low
Does that
into
make
them,
sense?
though, isn't he? I don't
You
know.
want to be
You wanna
the
be-
best hurdlers are. They
You
got
wanna
like
be
that-
low.
there's
Well, I
little
remember
margin
Buvadere,
for
he
error.
never
You
touched
waste
a
time
twig
in the
in his-
in the air,
race.
don't you? You want to be low, quick, slick. That's how they,
Quick and slick.
Don't you think it's just a shame he wasted a year running in bumpers, though?
There is that argument. Do we need the bumper sphere
Oh
anymore?
God, here we go. They had to get
No.
political, didn't they?
No.
Look, can't we just
Makes no
enjoy
sense.
the monster that is? We've got another
Very
monster
good.
now.
Very,
He's
very
got the
good.
scope to jump fences. He's got everything. This bloke, isn't he? He's
Oh,
not.
yeah, he has, yeah. But he could have been doing this last
I
season.
imagine a lot of ACCAs can now look above the sofas and all that sort of stuff because there are a lot of people just money buying with these ACCAs today. What is the ACCA today? Jonbon, Facile, and Shishkin?
Argentina and Holland. I think USA got a good chance against Holland, to be honest.
Who's enjoying the World Cup out there?
Oh, yes.
Of course, in England tomorrow night. Go on, the boys. All right, okay. All right, back to Aintree. We've got to go. Facile Vega does it. Is there any pressure on that price, James, at all?
They've just taken it away. To see
That
how he
means
got
there will
on.
be. That means there will be because we've seen he's
Six-
alive and well and he can jump.
Yeah, 6-1 jet powered is the alternative at the moment.
Yeah, a horse I greatly like. All right, but the 205 is coming up, and it's one of the shows of last season that we did here was when Snow Leopardess went clear in the Becher, and then that pulsating finish with Hill 16, who's got a right chance, I think, of maybe winning the race, despite the fact he's £9 higher. But let's find out what James Millman likes for Betfair and the trade.
Right,
in the
important for
Becher.
this one, 6 places on the sportsbook. And I think in this race, which is exceptionally competitive, go to the sportsbook, take advantage of the 6 places. I'm going to put Percussion and last year's runner-up, Hill 16, up each way. I'm going to put £12.50 each way on the pair of them. The Percussion is an interesting one. He's actually 9s now. His price keeps dropping. Hill 16's at 11s. I liked Hill 16, not really more for the win purposes, but the fact he's jumped the fences, he's very consistent, he had a nice comeback, and Percussion has improved around well Evan, an adequate trip last time out. So sportsbook, 6 places, take advantage of that. Back to the Exchange for this contest, and our favourites, pretty strong, is Jesgill at 6.8, Ashtown Lad for the Skeltons 7.8, 9.2, 5-star Getaway, who, if Christian Williams is in better form, He would be an interesting one for me. Dr. Kananga 10s, 15s
Yeah.
percussion, 17s till 16
enough.
bigger prices a remainder.
Yeah, Christian's just needs that big Saturday winner to come back. And he's just turned 40, and I said he'd be having grey hairs unless he gets one.
Yeah.
On the show yesterday, he dyes it definitely like you.
Nah.
That's a thick,
No.
thick back
I'd
end
have
of
to
it.
worry
That's a
about.
Christian Williams
I'd have
type
to worry
mod.
about grey, mate. I have to worry about recession, mate.
Ah, indeed,
Okay?
quite. There's a
It happens to
there's a
wild
vision
blokes.
for you. All right, okay, so, all right.
Do you want a quick anti-post price of Fassel Vega?
I've been waiting for
What
it.
are you going to put him?
Has he gone 7 to 4?
He shouldn't
Shorter.
Be, he shouldn't
6
be
to 4.
He should-
Shorter.
Nah, it's
What?
5
5 to 4?
5 to 4.
On the sportsbook, he's 5 to 4. They were that
Fassel Vega.
impressed. Oh, mother.
Nah, that's ridiculous.
I
Let's
don't know
see.
about
Might not be ridiculous though. Might just.
And what was the Jonbon?
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Jonbon went 7 to 4 straight
So
after.
they
It
just
is.
literally
Yeah.
despite the fact he's just won a grade 1, they've just trimmed him.
we hadn't seen
Trimmed a fraction off him.
him jump before, had we? So you've got that in the bag, then you can do that.
All right, I need to. I mean, I
I
don't
just
know.
don't feel like he would have shortened like a few years ago.
It's a bit annoying,
I mean,
isn't
I
it?
think
But that is a
that's the landscape of
significant
anti-post
shorten. We should say
Anti-postman
that.
Wilders is not happy with the anti-post markets.
When
Nah.
Constitution Hill won the Tolworth in January, when we covered the show, Jonbon had been wildly impressive, I think, in his first 2 starts, and he was thought maybe, because we didn't really know about Constitution until this time last year,
Yeah.
Jonbon was the one that everyone expected. We were so surprised when Barry Orr said that he's gone into clear favourite ahead of him. And the sportsbook tend to get it right, their traders. They've gone 5 to 4. They're basically ducking in.
Well, they don't
this
want to take any money.
They just
do
don't want it. They don't want it at all. So the Supreme is not a race
Well, I
that cuts up,
suppose
please, Lord.
that's one way of looking at it. That maybe they don't think he represents a true 5 to 4 shot, but they don't want to take the bet.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I could have make a case for that, but he
Yeah.
ain't a 5 to 4 shot at this stage because he's got to get there.
Yeah, it's
And
a long way
there's
away.
so many horses we haven't seen.
You'd
a
hope so.
long way
wouldn't you?
away.
Most of
Gonna be
those
very
horses
good.
are in 1 yard,
Yeah.
WPM, and I don't think they've got anything that can live with them. So
Yeah.
you kind
It's
of know.
Hendo or
There's only
or
4
nothing
trainers: Henry de Bromhead, Willie, Gordon, and Henderson
that
at
can have a
Cheltenham.
go
There's
at
only
it,
4
That
trainers.
can win the Supreme.
Who else is there?
Paul will be trying to get back.
Yeah, Paul will be
into
trying, but
that
there
late.
isn't anyone else.
That's actually a fair shout. Look, so much to talk about in a minute, but Nat, you're absolutely right. There's only 4 trainers, Natalie
Tricky.
Green says, that can win the Supreme Novice Hurdle. Do you agree
Well,
or disagree?
no, all of Cheltenham.
Well, all
The
right,
whole
fair enough.
festival.
On the handicaps.
All
No,
right,
but-
let's get back to the Becher. We got 5
To the
minutes.
Becher.
James has put up Percussion and Hill 16.
Percussion's very strong, actually.
Now,
Solid.
he stayed on out of the handicap, didn't he, in the Grand Theft, and he's not out of the handicap this time. He's got the extra distance. Is he classy enough? I mean, he's only a 7-year-old. He's in the Hanbury colours, which is an interesting owner for Laura Morgan. You remember the Mighty Man colours?
Yeah,
He was
back in the
Yeah, I
they've
do,
got
yeah.
proper
Any day.
owner breeders. These get really good horses, and they sell a lot of them. But they keep them. I wonder. I mean, I remember getting beaten at like Southwell and things like this. I'm looking at him now, thinking, but he's only a 7-year-old. I can see where that's coming from. 5-star getaway looks like he's being backed. Ashdown Lad, it's just Dan and Harry, isn't it? On a Saturday now, that's kind of they already put it. They will always just put all their fancied horses in.
Yeah, I mean,
2 or 3 points short they should be.
So
I thought
good
they were
with
quite.
horses
I
first
thought they
time
were
out
quite
as
warm
well.
on this Team Skelton.
He said he's got to have a chance to us in the week, doesn't he? He's got a fair
I
chance.
thought he was quite keen.
He's run behind Remastered and his comeback.
Well, that race has worked out particularly well as well, hasn't it? I mean, you've got
Jericho Rocker.
and Dacia Abba running in the London National, which signs us off.
Johnson's blue on the other day as well.
Johnson's Blue, Milan Bridge, a bit disappointing, wasn't it? But Remastered and Jericho
Very
Rock, we saw that.
decent
It's a proper prep race, that. So Ashdown, I worried about his class level for this. You tend to need some classy horses to go. So I've got a bit of a project running in this. He's a massive prize here, and he unseated in the Grand National, but he would never forget his run over hurdles when he came back. But it's Fortescue for Henry Daly and Hugh Nugent. Who's a horse.
65.
He's got some really good form to his name. He beat Fiddler on the Roof at Ascot. He's got proper Haydock form as well. That was behind Royal Pagaille. He was only beaten 3 lengths from that. Him and Royal 5-star Getaway are not too dissimilar in their form lines. Again, maybe this isn't the day for him, but at 33 to 1, I had to put him up. Natalie Green, what about you?
I will play 3 because it's the Becher, and at the end of the day, like, I always want a nice jumper, but I do think there's a point where you don't want to be too exuberant at the end of the day. You don't, because A, you lose time and energy, but you do need a good jumper. I do like Ol Green and Josh Guerra's horse Gaskill in this because it's got a great preparation. Henry Brook in the Becher, I love. Really enthusiastic. I thought that run last time with Gaskill will put him right on in the Grand
I thought he
Sefton.
worried about it under pressure. I thought he wobbled.
Yeah, we got a 12 answer, beaten by nose. Yeah, perhaps.
G-Rod put him up yesterday
No.
on What a Shout, and we were almost having a bit of an argument about it.
No, perhaps. I mean, it was by a nose, right? But I don't know. I think the yards in particular, what I've heard, they're very pleased with preparation at Grand Theft. And Dr. Kanang, I love each way. I did manage to get
Interesting
a
horse.
much bigger price than he is now. What you've got to do with Dr. Kanang is look at the Chepstow and the Sandown win.
Maybe a high-pitched noise
no,
at
I
that.
went,
That was like an ooh.
No, with this horse, if you want to know where I'm coming from, you've got to watch the Chepstow and Sandown win. Dr. Kananga, he is a superb jumper, beautiful,
Ben
fluid.
Galloping Bear Clark
really
trains
needs to
in
be
Dorset.
in a lovely rhythm. I think the recent hurdle spin will have Dr. Kananga right on point. I love everything about his preparation into this race. And my last one is a wild card, and it's Captain Kangaroo, who I promise you is about 18-2 hands. It must be one of the biggest horses in training. I watched it on the opening show this morning. Luke Harvey did a piece with him. He can be clumsy. He can make mistakes. You're probably thinking, there's a lot of noise about him back in the day. Look at Captain Kangaroo's flipping behind. Who did he beat? Kilcrook. Did he beat Kilcrook? Yeah, I'm sure he did. Anyway, it's been a costly horse, this, but I wouldn't put it past.
This was your innuendo on your podcast yesterday, wasn't it? Because you thought that Willie is a
Wizard Willie. What's wrong with that?
He's
magic with his wand. His magic with his wand.
If you watch it back, Charlie Post apparently was struggling to keep himself together when you were saying you've got to believe in the Willie Wizards and all that sort of thing.
So
I thought his other one was interesting. Recite a prayer. I thought that was interesting. That won a national, didn't it, back in its day? Brian Hayes
I
on
just
really
think they
good
thought
jockey.
a lot of Captain Kangaroo, and he's been a bit. I think, look, bigger the better for this horse, because he doesn't seem to look at them if they're not big enough.
Some right characters in this.
Can't I say-
Fantastic asses, fancied
Go
by
on,
plenty
Robbie.
of you out
Can I
there.
say something?
Yeah.
Robs?
I want to drum up some more support for percussion.
Okay. Like it.
Absolutely, you're on the right note there,
Me
son.
and Keith were talking about this horse the other day. I said he's at 28-20.
Does the Melrose
I
like
said
this?
to Keith, I wouldn't be surprised if he went off single figures.
Wow.
Yeah, right. I mean, basically, from a handicapping perspective, he's now £7 better off with Jess Skill for an 8-length defeat. He's bred to be more of a stayer. He shapes like more of a stayer. And now he's more like the right sort of price. I think Laura Morgan's a very good trainer. And it's only a matter of time before she starts winning some of these big Saturday handicaps.
Yeah,
and it might
she's a
be
good
today
trainer,
with
yeah.
this bottom weight here because he's running in that Grand Sefton from out the weights. He's actually run off £3 lower here and he's third in that, and that's probably just as good a race as this almost.
Front runners tend to dominate these sort of
There's
races.
going to be a lot of front
Snow
runners.
Leopardess was such a sight, wasn't she, when she landed a gamble in this last year? She went right clear. You thought she was going to tear it a new one, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
16 closed. Right, the flags are ready. No, they don't like that start. What a surprise. That was long odds on, wasn't it? So they're going to have to take a turn now. They get one more chance for a standing start. And the standing start in the National is, over the National fences, is not something you really want. We've got right characters in here. Is anyone, I mean, the Wolf, every time I don't tip him, well, he doesn't really win, but he looks like he's going to, and every time I tip him, he lets me down. He's had breathing problems, I think.
He's an annoying horse, isn't he?
He's had his issues.
He does look like quite well handicapped. He's a bit of a suspect jumper as well.
3 seconds in the last 4 starts.
The Rasher Counter, I thought, had a chance. I mean, this is a really, really good race. If you believe in Sod's Law, then Domaine Delille will win this race, because I put him up at Cheltenham last time and I hated the run. But he has got some class that suggests he might go well here. And how about punters out there? Forgiving horses is one of the biggest ricks, isn't it, that we do. We just jump off them. And then you look at the results and you go, oh no, it's won at 14-1. All right, and we are finally now off and running. And I'll tell you what, a few out the back got hampered by that.
Yeah, our favourite, Jess Gill, he was jumping last over the opening obstacle.
And the JP horse wasn't great either. Or was that
Or
Jess Gill?
Cloth Cap
that
wasn't
was
good
Jess
at that.
Gill, sorry.
Cloth Cap was messy at the first.
That is Jess Gill at the back. I thought it was a JP horse. Cloth Cap. Was
Oh, no,
that
that's
was
Snow
the third.
Leopardess.
Oh, no, what was that? It's
Was
gone.
it? No, she's here.
Shirley and Monroe, Rodders'
Sorry, she's here.
Shahalian Monroe down at the second.
You're right.
All right, percussion on the inside.
Look at the
Look at
colours.
him.
Look at
At the
them.
moment, it's Dr. Kananga, the Bond villain, going clear at the moment. Cloth Cap, who just loves these national fences, but will he see it out? Percussion, the gamble is up there for Laura Morgan. Snow Leopardess on the inside. If you're leading Fantastic Cash, you're going a bit of a lick. Didiero Vallis as well, Lucy Turner, good pilot. Charlie Post told us last week that she is. She's Venetia's girl, and she's in 5th at the moment. Let's try and pick some more up. On the outside to no one is Ashdown Lad. I'm looking for some of the other big players. Darasha
Snow
Counter out the back.
Leopardess, she's not got to the front today, and I hope she's going to be happy in behind.
She ran in a veterans chase on her comeback, didn't she? Was probably going to get it right for this behind Ramsey's to
Yeah,
I
got
thought
to
might go
first.
for this
Yeah, it's
race.
a good little race, that.
Was a good race. Where's the Wolf? They always put him to sleep out the
He's
back.
out wide,
Yeah.
far left.
Frankly de Burley, who has been put up by someone at the post. In fact, it might have been Kevin Morley, the excellent Kevin Morley might have put him up. This is
My big kangaroo is liking his big events. I thought he would. Honestly,
is he hopping?
Big he is. He hopping? Bigger the better for this horse. I just don't think it can see them if it's too small. Honestly, seriously. It needs
Something striking out the back, guys. What's that,
18
James?
points.
At
The
the
Jam
back?
Man is
The
at
Jam
the back.
Man.
And I'm afraid Fortescue is not happy either.
I didn't want to see that. Come on, Fortescue, take some interest.
What's the biggest horse you've ever? Has there ever been a horse that's like 20 hands?
Yeah, shy horses.
How big?
Four.
No, I'm talking about thoroughbred.
No, but 18.2 is the biggest, isn't it?
Is it? How big's a hand as well?
How big is a hand, James?
I don't
7,
actually
8.
know technically.
Yeah, horsey people don't know horsey terms.
Exactly.
It's
No, we
breaking news. That's what you were trying to get out of them. We were fishing.
8?
there,
I've never
Marvellous.
known what that means.
8?
I've always just thought in my head like, they're around 16 hands. What does that mean?
16 hands would be quite a small horse.
Yeah, it's quite small.
Hill 16, last year's
4.
runner-up, is going to have to pass
4
pretty
inches
much
in a
everything.
hand.
Oh right.
How much is it?
4 inches in a hand. It's
4
like that.
inches in a hand.
So I'm 6 foot half a hand.
There you go.
You do
All
the
right,
maths.
fair enough. You're right. Okay, 6 foot, half a hand. You need a hand. All right,
You'd
okay.
be-
Where's the Wolf? I keep looking for him. On guard's another horse I've not mentioned. He's got a nice sit as well. James, then we're going out onto the far side. We're not going to do the commentary here because we've got no idea what the fences
tricky.
are. But
The
we
one
know
they
the
don't
famous
like
ones.
is 5-star Getaway. He's 23. He's the one they do like on the wide outside. Ashdown Lad, 4.3, our favourite.
What do you think
Brilliant.
of all the whiteboards now? They're quite nice, aren't they? Not the orange. Everything's gone white.
Is there any sort of tangible evidence that's improving the horse's sight?
We don't know, but in the fog it's harder to see.
Funnily
him.
enough, Johnny
In the
Burke
fog,
said
it's
to me
like-
yesterday, I asked him why he didn't try and lead on Not So Sleepy in the, in
Because
the
he's
fighting
white,
fifth.
the first time a white
It's the
hurdle.
first time he's seen a white
Really?
hurdle and he wanted to know where he
because
was going
Not
to react
Sleepy's
to it.
quite
And
good.
apparently he didn't really like it that much.
Because
over the
even
first
though they're
couple.
colourblind, they can see shades. Oh, who's... Oh, no.
The Rash account.
I don't know, you've gone a bit early on Fortescue. He's warming up.
He has
You
overtaken.
fickle man. You're trying to get me wound up.
He's overtaken a couple.
Right, let's have a look
Domain
at
de
this.
Lille out the back as usual. He just absolutely ballooned that, which is what you want. The Rash counter doesn't look like he's enjoying it.
Snow Leopardess looking happier now.
Absolutely. She's coming back into life,
she's where
isn't
she wants to be. She's looking much more settled in a lovely rhythm,
Lovely
jumping really
little
well.
leap that as well.
Yeah.
Love Cap only made that mistake at the first, has jumped really well since then. Where is our Gasquille creeping up, isn't
Yeah, it's
he?
always out the back. He's a
Where is
creepy
he?
creeper. He's
Why
a creeper count.
Where is he? Ah, okay, sorry, got you.
He's a creepy creeper. Oh, fantastic. Has got him really tight there. Rapid Flight wasn't great either for the Moffats and Danny McMenamin. Cloth Cap keeps catching your eye on the
Yeah,
inside, doesn't
yeah,
he?
he does, yeah.
This would be gunpowder treason and plot if he was to win this because he's come so well handicapped.
Yeah, he's 10-1 in the run, Cloth Cap, but he was 100 plus early doors.
Someone's
Wow.
pulling up there at the back. I just can't see who it is, I'm afraid. I think it's my eyes aren't terribly
Is that
good.
on guard? No, he's there.
No,
All
on
right.
guard's travelling
We
okay.
need spotters like they have, at
I
Aintree.
tried, but it happened so
I
quickly.
know some lads that
couldn't
go
quite see.
every year as spotters. They love it. They're race readers, but they
I
love
bet
it's
they
like
do.
a
It's
spotters
quite
club.
fun.
Gasquille walked through that one. That was about 6 out, wasn't
Yeah.
it? 5 or 6 out we are now. And again, the front runners they just get away, James, don't they, on the far side?
Yeah, you've got to get into a rhythm. Betting wise, 3.6, still our favourite, Ashdown Lad. Gasquille now at 13.
James,
That was the canal turn. Then they've gone over.
Gavin Sheen on percussion just had a good
He's
look
got a
around
right
who
old
was
chance.
around
Did he?
him. He's got a right chance here
Oh,
because
Gav fancies his
Gav had a good
chances.
look round. He just
Laura
seen where
Morgan,
everyone
mate.
was, and look at
Masters.
him now, really getting into contention.
such
now,
a sight,
if
isn't
I'm
it?
looking in running now, percussion is catching
He's
my
7.8.
eye.
Gasquille is
Southern
coming as
progression
well.
now.
Hill 16 has not looked happy throughout the first circuit, but he's starting to warm up slightly. But at the
places,
moment,
so-
Cloth Cap
Percussion's
then.
looking good.
Richie
Percussion's
McClernand
looking
on
good.
the inside. This was supposed to win a national, wasn't it? Of course, breathing issues have hampered him since the cheek pieces are on, but we know that he's got it on his day. Let's find out in 3 out then this is, I think,
Hey,
as we go over. And again, percussion's there. Snow Leopardess loving it. Dr. Kananga maybe now just feeling the flinch class-wise.
I know, come on, Kananga.
The
I
eye
need
continues
you.
to be drawn to Gasquille and Henry Brook. He's like, I'm not getting there too soon this
Come on,
time.
Kananga,
And you need
and
to get
Hen.
on with that. Was 3 out. Right, Ashdown Lad now on the outside. How's
Come
he
on,
got the car?
Kananga.
Percussion is starting to feel the pinch.
I need a win.
Nah, he's not. He's moving up now.
Snow Leopardess, could she possibly for the Plunkets and the Fox Pits?
She could.
She
Of course
could well do.
Come on, Kananga.
He's game, isn't he, Kananga?
Jess going to come and.
5-star Getaway's trying to stay.
Come on,
I'm looking
don't
for the
get
stragglers.
squished out,
Fortescue's coming, but
Kananga.
I'm sure it's all too late, isn't it, I think?
Taking a sweet time, isn't it?
Okay, off the home bend they come. This is one
Oh,
of the
Kananga.
longest home
Kananga's
straights.
gone.
Gasquille cruising. It's because Henry Brook has been told, look, you've got your 3 miler. Just do not hit the front too soon. I'll tell you what, Fortescue's left it far too late, hasn't
Go
he?
on,
I think
Hen
on guard
Pep.
now gone. Fantastic has gone. Hill 16 is
Hen
trying to
weaving
close.
through there.
So at the moment,
This
it's
is
going to be
brilliant
just about
stuff.
Ashdown. Snow Leopardess comes up, but
Go on, Hen.
nothing any Cloth Cap yet. Now it's Gasquille is mounting his challenge. He's starting to
stand back on
fight.
him.
Look, he's wobbling this horse. Snow Leopardess just coming out of it now. Could be Skelton's again, could it? This would be. He's about to lead it.
Odds
Ashdown
on.
Lad goes over.
Go on, Henry.
Clough, I think, has just about run his race.
Where are you
if
going,
there is a
Hen?
closer, it's 5-star Getaway and Fortescue's left it far too late.
Caution's getting the places.
Go on, Henry.
At the moment, then, it's an Ashdown Lad on this famous elbow there coming up. Look at Fortescue, you Nugent. God, pushing him, man. Unbelievable scenes. This should have gone a lot closer, I think. All right, it's Ashdown Lad who's going to do it. Now Jess Gill's coming. How's he going to find a second?
Percussion.
Go on, Henry.
He's a
Percussion's
proper
coming back
thinker.
into
It's
it.
going to be second again for Jess Gill unless he can conjure something. Ashdown Lad runs an absolute blinder. They just love it on a Saturday, don't they, the
What
Skeltons?
did they were warm
and
about
you
him?
watch that. Look at that. Harry again punches the air. It was Jess Gill in second. Percussion, I think, was third, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Percussion. That was
And
a really good one.
Fortescue somehow has finished fourth.
Brilliant.
James Millman.
They're always happy with Ashdown Lad throughout the race. Skelton took a wide route. 8.64 was the highest he ever went. Price just dropped. The one that went 2-1 in running Clough Cap, who travelled like a dream, but again, once pressure was applied, he stopped quite quickly. Jess Gill, probably the start might have cost Jess Gill backers because it was a flag start, and he was the one that jumped off in last place. 1.6 he hit in the run at a low.
5 was 5-star Getaway, 6 with Cloth Cap if you were taking the 6
Sutherland
places on the
unfortunately was 16.
sportsbook.
Didn't quite get that 6 places.
No,
Tis-
quite
tis
not.
unlucky. Well, that was a good fun race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
I'm a little
Loved
bit annoyed with Fortescue, but I just think he should have gone closer. But Ashdown Lad, I wasn't sure he had the class for this, I must admit. But that hurdles race at Aintree is now throwing them all up, isn't it? That
Well, it's ideal timing, isn't it, for for this race and for the Hennessy or the Coral Trophy now, because you've got that 4 or 5 week run. Fortescue, he was niggling away Hugh Nugent from the word go. So I don't know. I think it was the horse
I don't
just
know why he
wouldn't.
didn't see it a bit handier
But
early.
I don't think he could.
I'm not sure. Maybe
Flag
that's
start
what
as
it
well.
is.
He could have
And he
missed
just
it like
gets a little bit
Skill.
snatched up there somehow, doesn't he, on the run? It's cost him. It's cost
You
him
have to
legs,
say as
so.
well, that Grand Sefton form, keep an eye on our dancer next
Yeah,
time off
yeah,
£5
definitely.
higher. I mean, Jess Gill and Percussion.
Well, it's all
second-
about the
second,
top
third
and for
there.
those horses, isn't it? You just
Sandown
rode
Aintree.
back from the top.
What did Kananga stay on for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Nowhere, I'm afraid.
What?
Oh, no.
No, I don't
he
think
not
he was,
come
is he?
back?
Hang
Not
on.
come
Oh,
back?
look, there's
1,
1,
2,
2, 3,
4.
4. Oh, no, that was Cloth Cap.
No,
You don't know.
maybe it went
Cloth Cap
7.
was 6th. Yeah, we've had it confirmed. I'm going to give you a quote
Darn
from Noble
it.
Yates in a minute as we see the happiness on aboard. Darren Yates as well. I mean, good moment for Darren Yates, who has thrown ridiculous money at horses. Blackline was the big one, wasn't it? He's always wanted to win the national. He's now got himself a national player, I'm assuming. We've got... And I'll tell you what, the Skeltons have got a serious national handle as well. Whether you fancy Lamilos or not, last week's Coral Gold Cup winner, he's nearly, well fancy for it.
My worry going into Saturday was whether he'd be quick enough for a Coral Trophy. Lamilos, I think, actual fact, the extra distance, I think, will suit him right down to the ground.
And the ground won't be a problem, on the national fences. They make sure it's not. And now they've got another one as well. A lot of talk about Dan Skelton being future champion trainer, isn't there? The way he targets these handicaps.
He will
Oh,
be.
I love Skelton.
Pretty
He
impressive.
will be.
Amazing trainer.
Amazing trainer.
That's a bit over the top, isn't it?
For you it is.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm
For
not
you it
normally
is.
one for hyperbole, but
For you it is.
he's right up there.
I think you get on with him, Rob.
He's pretty.
Is he coming
he's
to
pretty
HWPAs on
astute.
Monday?
He might be at the Derby Awards on Monday. Yeah,
like
he
to
might
meet
well be. Oh, well, that would be something that he'll be horrified about, but we'll try
He
and get
doesn't have a
posted
clue
to set
I
it
am,
up.
mate. Don't worry about that.
Of course he does, the anti-postman.
He soon will.
Here we go then,
Postman's gonna have
220,
it off
20.
in
Say
this-
Skelton's on
this
fire.
race
We've got to
here,
go
yeah.
to Sandown because we've got the 220 coming up. We're lapping over a little bit. Are you with Love Envoy? Are you against it? A British novice hurdle winner at the Cheltenham Festival. Johnny Burt told me yesterday. Harry Fry thinks it's still well handicapped off 139. Good to see good horses in a handicap. This time over hurdles, James.
Yeah, it could well be 2.8 ahead of the market. Very solid. Harry Fry had a double at Sedgefield yesterday. I'm going to go for Holmes Boy, 6.4. Jane Williams has really hit form in the last 3 weeks, teamed up nicely with David Noonan's £20 at 6.6. And a horse who has been a little bit frustrating, but same mark as when he last won, and it might just be a little bit of a pipe opener the other day. I say Yard couldn't be doing any better. Lovely winner at Exeter yesterday, with a very similar type, Farah de Savola. He'd won a couple in December last year, back down to his last winning mark. He won at Exeter for Noonan and Jane Williams.
Yeah, all right. And
Yeah.
this is the sort of race track that they tend to sort of. I know they just like Sandown.
They like Sandown.
They love Sandown.
Yeah, I was
don't
looking
they?
at their. I put up Ernie's board at the start of the week. I was looking at their
This was an anti-postman selection.
20
wasn't
to 1, mate. So this could be a bit of a coup de maître. 92 at the moment. But I was thinking the same thing about Williams at Sandown. But her record there isn't actually that mustard. But yeah, there's lots to like about this horse. Off his mark, certainly. I mean, he nearly beat. He was unlucky not to beat I Like to Move It in a novice hurdle off level weights about a year ago. He was caught the eye of the stewards there when staying in second. But he's obviously had problems. He's been hanging badly to his right, going left-handed. He's going back right-handed now. He had no chance on his return, over 2 mile 4, carrying 12 stone 1 on soft ground at Worcester. Drops in trip, slightly quicker ground.
He was slightly disconcerted they put the pieces on, obviously not.
Not really.
No.
Natty, what do you like here?
Yeah, I really like him, his boy as well. I think she's like 4 from 13, isn't she, Jane? Really, really come into herself. Just the type to come on better. Needed that run last time. Absolutely needed it. There's a lot to like about Hum Public, another Ollie Greenall and Josh Guerra horse. But
he's on a hat-trick, isn't he?
He didn't run it at Bangor due to the ground. When Bangor's soft,
Yeah.
it is soft. This looks a very, very smart horse to me. I think he's going to put up a right show. And don't completely ignore the Venetia French horse, Martyr. I did text Charlie Deutsch about this. He said, look, he works well at home, but of course he could be anything. Well, because I wanted to find out about him, because what do you know about him? He's only ever ran in France. But the French races that it's ran in are proper, decent, graded
Apparently
races.
He's a dwarf of a horse, isn't he?
Yeah, so
he'd be 14
He's only
hands.
14 hands.
He's only
14 hands. No, so the only thing is, could just be a bit lit up or keen on this sort of British debut. But if you can translate the French form, you've got to give the Venetia horse a shout. You have to, because the class of race it's been running in. So again, I've only whittled it down to the 3. Gun to head, probably Hum Public. Probably Hum Public, probably.
Putting up 3 horses every race.
If I have to.
En Public along with Jonbon.
Well, I like the
Coup de
jockey as
Mort.
well.
Coup de Maitre.
Toby Wynn, he's a really good lad, claiming 5. His dad used to be a point-to-point jockey, Steve Wynn. I just think, Hum Public might be
They're
good.
going to ride over Envoy handy.
Love Envoy's going to be too good here,
I do think Love Envoy
Well,
would
she
be
is
too
very good.
Yeah, she's very
She
good.
is
She loves
very
this
good.
track as well, and I just
To be
love
fair,
her
the ground,
attitude.
looking at the start of the way, I thought the ground would be quicker than this.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty tested.
Playful Saints is a horse that's interesting. He was going to go for the Greatwood, and they thought the ground wasn't soft enough for him. But I was lucky enough to speak to Dan Skelton about this chap when we interviewed him on Watch Out, and he said we will be looking towards the Betfair hurdle for him. So
yeah, he's been dropped in. He's 10.5.
he's quite weak in the market, isn't he?
Very weak.
Yeah,
We talk about the Skelton winners. They're well backed on the
and
Saturdays.
these colours as well, and all that sort of thing. Did we see Gelino Bello yesterday? He showed you
I
what
actually
he's
missed
about,
that.
really.
Can you tell me about it?
Just jump right.
It was a match, which was disappointing for the money that was offered, guys, wasn't it? It was like 13 grand or something, wasn't it? And, 14 grand, something
So
like
I got
that.
quotes
Two
for
turned
Cheltenham.
up. It's a new race, in fairness, but
It's a race that's not needed.
yeah,
Get rid
well,
of
there
it.
you go.
Let's
There
not
you
add
go.
races, yeah? Let's take some away.
So Charlie is quite happy then here on Martyr Tater, wanting to sort of
And
dictate.
this
He
is
said it might be a
tiny.
little bit keen as in, but it is a pretty. Just looks like a
A pony.
Venetia type horse, though, to me. Looks really cool. Looks a right dude. Nifty little jumper. Hum Public fine there on the rail. Looks in a really nice position.
Friend or foe for Nichols and the Cobbers. They had a double there yesterday, of course, including the winter hurdle.
4 winners from 6 runners across the cards yesterday.
Wow.
Very good. Yeah, there was a bit of argy-bargy in the week, wasn't it? One of a ducking and diving. We had a bit of a laugh about that on Watch
yeah,
Out
nice.
yesterday.
Love all that.
Yeah,
I love all that. I
attention,
think
yeah.
it's great.
yeah.
I think it's great.
And I
Ducking
sort
and
of
diving.
agree with both camps. And,
A load of you
That's what
know
we need. We
what,
want
said
people
Paul.
to be able to have their
Yeah.
opinion and
Yeah,
voice
just-
it.
look,
That's what we need.
I'm thrilled that this jump season is igniting
God,
finally.
Charlie's off. I hope this is the plan, or he's just
You've
getting a
gone
bit
clear.
carted.
You've gone clear. Charlie Deutsch is not a mug with his hands. He's absolutely as strong as anything, isn't he? And don't. And he's gone clear. Don't. And he's gone clear on the far side of Love Envoy.
Well, they're very
Love
happy.
Envoy?
2.28.
Envoy.
Come on.
I called it Envoy, and then Rodders yesterday,
Don't
Plodders.
listen.
You
Don't listen to
can't go
that.
Envoy Allen and then Envoy.
Yeah, but he actually asked Johnny Burke about it. He goes, is it fit enough? Is Love Envoy fit enough?
No.
That's
So
what
we're
he
gonna-
said, yeah.
we're
And
gonna
Johnny
call
with a
it
straight face
Envoy
went,
Allen. No.
You know,
Can't
so
have the same name
anyway.
pronounced different.
I don't know, Love
Special
Envoy.
Envoy.
Love Envoy with Jonbon, we could have marched it will be if
Could have
Hermes
matched it. It'll be
Now,
a
how
Tour de
are we
Force in
happy,
about
lads
3
and
minutes,
lasses,
mate.
with
And Hermes
Odds on for Love Envoy, 6.4, same price as yesterday
Tad
for Hermes
Keen?
Boy.
Tad Keen, I think that's a bit early
Noonan's
for that.
travelling nice and quietly on the inside. there.
Nayati catches my
Well,
eye for the
Martyr
Gillards,
took
and
it.
the moment I said that, he whacked one.
Tens.
Just the man out the back who needs to recover from a fall last time.
Yeah,
might
my
have something.
Hum Public's getting quite a few, like...
He's
Come
a
on.
funny horse.
Giddy
He's
up,
a
giddy up,
funny
and he's-
horse. I had him
yeah.
down as a bit of a thinker, but obviously he's won his last 2. And at Newbury, when he won, a track that really suits him, I think, He just looked a little bit beaten, then the turbo kicked in, so I wouldn't give up just
He really
yet.
but he really likes a bit more like good ground, whether he's
Still
finding
odds
this
on.
just a little
David
bit.
Noonan doing what he did on Remastered, the inside all the way around at Newbury.
Yeah,
Went
come
now
off the
started to
bridle
shake
now.
on that one.
65.
He's feeling
You don't really want to be on the inside at Sandown, do you, turning in? We saw
Softer
it last
than
season.
I thought, don't you?
You
Like,
definitely
watching
get a
it.
little bit bogged down there. Right, we're turning out then. This sweeping home turn, and there's some stragglers coming to 2 out. Friend or foe on a going day. Remastered takes over. Afraid it's French also
Love
2
Envoy
kick.
looks
Look
good
at
here,
Playful
doesn't
Scent
she?
creeping
I
as
mean,
well.
staying on again. Go on,
It's
man.
friend or foe, very interesting horse this. First time out. Now, will we see the class come to the fore? She's really, really tough. On Public coming on the
Yeah, On
outside.
Public-
Playful
Public
Saint
does come-
continues to catch. He's going to be the closer. But at the moment,
I think friend or foe wins this.
stepping to the inside. I don't know.
Oh,
I
come
think
on,
she's got more
Toby.
left in the
Get
tank. Good
down
jump from
in
Love
the
Envoy with
saddle.
Goddess. Oh,
Get
she's
it
beautiful
over.
over it.
Yeah.
She's seen her friend or
Okay,
foe.
maybe
This is a
not. It's
class
done
act.
absolutely
They
nothing.
thought she could be a 150 mare. She's off 139 today. She's
Hammy's
just
not
an
getting
absolute win machine, this filly, isn't she? She's tough
Come
as they
on,
come.
Public.
On Public. Playful Saint now going to have one go.
Keep riding,
Keenan Woods
Toby.
delivering at the
Hammy's
last.
boy
On
getting
the
the
jump
free.
she goes. Playful Saint's going to be the one if she goes down the line. She's idling, I think, in front. The moment she's joined, she goes on. Class rises to the fore. Love Envoy
Get in the
is
free.
in the air.
Get in the
Happy
free, get in
days.
the free.
Hermes Boy closing for the third place, as you can hear.
third.
Wilder's desperate
Is it
for.
too late?
He might just
I'm
get
third,
it.
I'm
no,
third.
on Public third. Oh, isn't that a lovely
So
mare?
each one place just misses out.
She is an absolute super duper mare, this one. She's just got everything. She was idling there as well.
She's gorgeous.
She's definitely, she's
Well.
she's peripheral Grade 1 company, this horse, and she's just given away quite a lot of weight, James Millman, to some very, very progressive horses.
As soon as she jumped off prominently, she was short, only earned as big as 2.5 in the run. Little bit of a worry approaching the second last, where Playful Saint hit 2.5, but after that, she powered on up the hill, and unfortunately for Mana Wilder's each way choice, agonising
Yeah, I got him
neck
that.
third or neck fourth. Away from third.
She's just a proper filly, this, isn't she? And again, another advert
Powers
for running
clear.
your graded horses in Handicap company. It just gets on one
People
with
would
it. It doesn't
listen,
happen
they
more.
won't.
They won't. 30 grand she's just picked up there. I don't think she's had the hardest of races as well. Playful Saint has shown what he's all about, hasn't he?
Well, I dropped right out the back, bearing in mind she sat second throughout
Yeah.
Love Envoy. I think you can upgrade Playful Saint. The market beforehand didn't really suggest a lot of confidence for today, and you were mentioning Betfair down the line.
Yeah, I
He
think
could
he'll
well be
go.
a
I reckon he'll go to
one-handicap
Ascot for that valuable one later this month.
Just
at their
the last
Christmas,
one before Christmas.
which is of course Betfair sponsored. And On Public gives the form a lot of substance, doesn't he? Again, he's a funny horse, Nat, isn't he? But he's sort of run his race again there. He's probably holding a little bit back.
I think he's probably where he was going to be. To be fair, I mean, I kept trying to ride the finish for Toby. I was like, Toby, please, I want you to get out your stirrups. We good. But anyway, he's a young lad, isn't he? Very, very nicely ridden. But Envoy LN.
Oh,
Envoy love.
Envoy love. That was. I agree with you. I don't think they had to throw the kitchen sink at her. She had a fine race, but she powered on brilliantly to the
Yeah.
line. It was really
And
class.
they've got Revels Hill coming up in our final race of the day, of course, which is the 3:30 after the Betfair Tingle Creek, which is one of the showpieces of the winter season. Shishkin then. We are half an hour away from Shishkin coming out to straight stuff against, of course, last year's winner, Graham.
Riders on the storm.
Oh yeah, off we go, off we go. Thank you, Nat. And not favourite anymore, Riders on the Storm. It's the Gunsight who's been tipped up by just about everyone I
loads
know.
of people. Everyone I know has tipped up Gunsight, rid for Ollie.
Yeah, he's a horse that I know a lot about. I backed him when he won over 2 miles last time. I'm not so sure that he wants this trip. A lot of people looking at that long press line. He can.
It was a long time ago.
Have a bit of a think about it.
A year ago, and he's a weak finisher.
He can be. He can be a little bit.
It always gets me.
5.7 Gunsight Ridge. I'm going to go Riders on the Storm.
Yes, same.
5.9.
This is stupid price, this, I think.
Yeah, silly, yeah.
Good form, and it's just if he can repeat the comeback effort. I suppose that is the question
He's
mark.
still chucked in on his old form. This is a horse that hit a 160 before, isn't it? 161, I think, was his top.
Yeah, well, he
mark.
won the Ascot Chase, didn't
And looked the real deal that day. He's obviously gone to the Hobsons
he?
now.
I mean,
hasn't
how far would he won that?
he? This is
handicap at
Cole's
Cheltenham?
horse, isn't it, of course?
Final one in the trio, Night in Dubai, 7.4, and it's 12 and bigger the rest.
Someone else was it? Andrew or no?
Well, this is the right race for it, and of course we know that old Rowan form has been spectacularly
Oh, yes.
advertised.
Hitman, Galore.
Yeah,
very much
it's
so.
all there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is...
Silly price, this. Why is it so big? Maybe they think that was the day. Maybe they think
Well,
that
I
was
mean,
the
like,
dirty.
I know he's got quite a decent record fresh. That'd be the concern. But
This is a good race, though.
he
'cause
likes Aintree.
there's some deep horses in this. There's some good horses. When you look at like the likes of Cap or Toy at the bottom, you know it's a good race. Kilteedy Briggs has been
Briggs,
really easy to
yeah.
back. Feskin and Snowden. Empire Steel coming into it for your mate Sandy Thompson. And of course, we've got a very progressive horse in the fact that Elvis Man and Cooper's Cross is there as well. Brave Shashka coming back. A lot of people thought that might win a Grand Annual. What is the trade then, James? Is the 4-1 about riders on the
£10,
Storm?
5.9 riders on the Storm. It's a tight handicap. I'll say I've always thought Gunside Ridge is a bit of a weak finisher. Will he repeat that win? Got up the Shafts, didn't really boost the form yesterday in Exeter in the Long Press A race. Venetia's got a few winners on the board at that spell where she had about 5 winners in a row nearly, but they're still not getting there quite the proper soft ground just yet this winter, and I think he might need that first run off top weight.
Also, Brave Shashka, he had hurt himself in the Arkle, didn't he?
Did he fall?
No, but he just from some suspect jump,
Oh, that's
came
right,
back.
yeah.
He came back like
He hasn't
not
run.
right, and that's why he didn't run again that season. So
Yeah.
I'd much rather watch him than back him first time out of top weight. But I mean, he's an interesting horse going forward if
It
he
was a
can
pearler of a fall, I
recapture that
remember.
form because he was very progressive last season.
We've got the Skeletons, of course, with Night in Dubai. I think that banger form was good enough. He's got some back class, of course, like a lot of these have, but the market just won't have him any bigger because they just keep putting it off on these Saturdays, don't it? It's ridiculous. We'll get some quotes coming in for Ashdown Lad. 33-1 on the sportsbook, I think, for the Nash.
What price Neville Yates do you think? What would you be going for national? To repeat his crown.
Will he be favourite?
He's sort of clear favourite.
7s?
8s.
I was going to say 6.
16's Correct Rambler, who did plug on, didn't he,
Oh,
on
that's the
Saturday?
winner. Plug on?
He doesn't do anything quickly, does he?
No.
No. That's fine. One for Arthur didn't either.
No.
No.
Lamilos is 20s. I'd rather stick with Lamilos, I think.
No, it's Correct Ramblers race the national. Absolutely. Yeah.
Delta Work 20s.
No, we Yates on the screen. Look at that. There you go. The boys in the go here absolutely wise. It's Kieran and Dan today. And Gold Cup 10s and 25s. No, we. And all right, this leads me to the quotes, if you don't mind, because Andrew Dietz is up on track for us. Emmett Mullins says everything on the table. Basically, he just keeps climbing up the ladder. This is Noble Yates. We have the option of the Gold Cup and the national, and we'll keep them open as long as we can. He's opened the door a little bit.
Don't go
wider
anywhere
after
near.
that.
Don't go anywhere near the national.
I mean, if you took his one in the Ultima,
Very young horse.
if you took his one in the Ultima, he didn't look like it was. It can't have just been just a prep for Aintree. That.
He's such a hard horse to predict because he's obviously got.
Well, he went all the way to
crazy
France and got about 4 fences over there. Did not enjoy it
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah, he's a bit of a funny horse. So anyway, the national winner has been slammed for the
what he
for the
win
Gold
off,
Cup. Someone's sitting on 66-1 ticket.
What he won off at Aintree last year, like 150 or something.
What he went off at that?
What did the mark he won off?
Oh, good
Like,
question.
it was
I'll have to go
150.
back. and
This is
Bear with
looking
me.
up.
Bear with me.
I don't even
Curveballs
remember
and
stuff like
wild
this.
horse.
147.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? I wanted to say 147, but I bottled it because I thought that's too low.
Story of your career so
he's
far.
He's gonna be rated after this performance.
Yeah.
About what 164.
Let's get some
He's gonna
socials in,
win a
guys, for this
national
race.
final, I think.
Who's been enjoying it so far? What do we make of Jonbon? That's what I want to know. What do you make of Honeysuckle? Is anyone laying it tomorrow? There's a lot of talk about maybe this could be the one, but surely. Charlie Post was on this panel last week and he was livid that he was gone out. You know, everyone's like, why is everyone writing her off? Can't believe it.
I wouldn't.
She went out to like 4-1 immediately after the race.
Just a worry that some of the Bromhead horses have bombed completely.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Pouring scorn, looking at it, worrying and wobbling already. She's unbeaten, man.
I think should be heading to the Mares anyway.
I mean,
come Cheltenham.
if she's gonna,
Careful what you
I
say
think
there.
she'll be having a little sidetrack.
Careful what you say. So that was
Gotta have
something
a
that
few
was
quid on.
floated to us as well, Natty, after Constitution looked like an unbeatable monster that he is. Does she revert to the mares for her swan song? And everyone's like, you can't say that.
I don't
dare
think.
you?
I actually don't agree with James. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I'm not sure.
We need the clash, don't
They
we?
I'm not
really-
sure.
what they really got to lose.
She will have to work her socks off to beat Constitution Hill, and at the moment, seeing what I've seen, I think Constitution Hill could possibly beat her, but she's still she is still a superstar. She is phenomenal.
She will. If
And
you
yes,
remember
I
this
think she'll
time
win
last year, the
tomorrow.
crowd that
But
went to Ferry
Constitution
House
Hill
is insane.
potentially not a superstar, a freak. He could be a freak. He is that good.
He is already.
Yeah, and he is, but we haven't seen him yet. But to get into the role, to get into the history books, I mean, Honeysuckle's done it. But he is a freak of nature. Like, he could just be the best could be one of the best.
She comes out tomorrow on a card of cards that starts at 11:55. The Bar One Racing, of course, Ferry House Festival, and it's the Hatton's Grace Honeysuckle coming out trying to win the race again.
Yeah, I think she would.
I think the Classical Dream was the each way
it's
better.
the highest rated horse she's ever run against.
Yeah.
That's bizarre, isn't
I
it?
think he's a cracking each way better.
5 to 1.
He's a monster horse fresh.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is it's gonna be tough out there. Like she's not a heavy ground 2 mile 4. Like if she might not win tomorrow.
There you
We
go.
always say this, don't we?
We all, well, of course.
Classical Dream was a cracking each way.
We had
should be short and 5.
we had Brendan Duke come over during Cheltenham for this show, and he said, "I'm like a lab rat." He said, "I keep going there and getting stung. We're trying to make Honeysuckle." Great line.
But this is the time.
This is the time, you think. All right, some of the bookies are thinking that this might be the one. She's 4 to 11 tomorrow.
I'm surprised they're going 5s about Classical Dream.
Well, yeah, it's a big each way price.
put him
I
up
agree.
to-
There's
I put
other
him up
horses
to
in the
beat her
race.
It
last
happens to
season.
be the other way around. I was banging on about Noble Yates, then went off him and won the national. I mean, it always happens. doesn't
Right,
it?
there you go, forgiving horses, isn't it? Absolutely. All right, okay, so back to Aintree we go for what's going to be a barnstorming 2 mile 4 handicap chase. And word to mother comes on and says, Tipping Clan legend, 18 to 1. When beating Riders on the Storm, 50 to 1 back in second, won't leave him now. All right, okay, ROTS was Riders on the Storm, wasn't it, I think? Thanks, mother. Steve M, it's now or never for Elvis Male. What do we know about Nick Arms and
I get it, it's great. It's now or never.
Very, very good, Steve. And God Nat's here to pick that one up. Absolutely. Who made all pretty much, didn't he, at Air last time. The third was stuffed next time. Lucinda Russell's horse. So he needs to step up and form, but he is quite interesting. He's great, and he will jump his way into the front, I would imagine.
Air and Kelso form, meeting a few Southern Raiders would be my worry, really.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and there's a big problem with that. We'll talk
Now-
about that another time with handicapping and northern and southern runners.
I've gone for Riders on the Storm, but I like another one in here. I would like to if he'd gone for the Grand Sefton. It's the Coulthard's horse.
Cooper's Cross.
Cooper's Cross.
Me too.
12's available.
He's progressive.
Do you want to hear my notes?
Please do.
So I love Ride on the Storm, obviously. I was there at Aintree, it was wonderful, great interview. But Cooper's Cross, 10 stone 10, the 7-year-old, he looks to be on the up. He does look on his upward trajectory.
I love that, Matt.
I love it too. He slammed his rivals at Carlisle. I seem to end up watching a lot of Carlisle races. We have a lot of good horses that go to Carlisle.
There are some good horses that go
Seriously
to
though,
Carlisle, aren't there?
Carlisle is one of those. I always have a good, and then obviously the plan was massively the Grand Sefton.
You can often see Arco horses there.
Yeah, the Grand Sefton, but non-runner. Now, if you look through Cooper's Cross's form, I mean, there are so many times as a non-runner or self-cert. They're definitely quite cautious with this horse.
Why was he non in the
Oh
in
my
the Grand
God!
Sefton?
Self-cert, and then there's about 4 self-certs.
They won the Hunt and Chase, didn't they? 100 to 1 shot. I can't remember the name of the
There's
horse.
about 4 non-runs because of the ground. They're really
Right.
fussy about the ground.
He ran a blinder at Carlisle. That was against Scotty.
Ground at
what's that
Weatherby
called,
didn't
sorry?
run. Ground at Kelso didn't run.
Throw Patrick.
Hopefully today they're
Patrick's
happy
horse he slammed.
with the ground, which is absolutely good news for us. So I think Cooper's Cross has got a massive chance. I love Rise and Storm, and I think everybody should have about £2.50 on the Irish Raider right out the back at Handsworth. Why not? Go on.
All right, okay,
Go for
all right. Yeah, it's one I've had a little bit on as well as Riders on the Storm. Like I say, I just think Brian Hughes is going to get the best out of Riders on the Storm again. I guess what sort of hard race he had in the old Rowan. Garlaw was probably not the horse that we saw at Cheltenham that day, was he?
Probably not. Nah,
He was prepping.
yeah.
Let's get another social up then. Reminder to
That's a good
download the app out there, which you can do on the Google Play Store or the App Store itself. And Dylan says, Riders on the Storm opens doors for my double with Revels Hill.
good
This is the
double.
first leg. Revels Hill, of course, they'll be boyoed
He's short Revels Hill, but you'd imagine now the doubles of
for Love Envoy
Levoy
connections.
and him with Nell Feely's Syndicate. They've got 25 horses now, the Nell Feely Syndicate. They've
Have they?
become quite a big force in the national hunt sphere.
Yes, they are, absolutely.
He's busy, isn't he, Noel? Like, you see him everywhere, racing sales. Like he's
You got me doing my chair. Sorry, apologies about that. That
You
was
need
that was
go-
Dan Walsh's fault.
Producer
Here you
Dan
go.
Walsh, sir.
I'm sort of up and down. I'm bobbing up and down.
Mine
today.
normally
Yeah,
does that.
very
They normally say
exciting.
it's me, but actually I saw a coccyx sitting on these chairs.
That could have gone anywhere. That could have gone anywhere. All right.
What?
back to that could have gone
Coccyx?
anywhere. That
Oh,
could have
he's
gone
just
anywhere. She's
being-
back.
It's
he's
just a
being
tailbone.
playful.
It's just a.
It's just a tailbone. It's
Stop it now.
Do
sore.
your stretches.
Stop it now. Do your stretches. Oh, don't.
You ever done yoga,
We're
Dave?
going worse.
You ever done yoga?
Dave doing downward dog. Can you imagine Dave doing the downward dog?
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see the fella doing the sinks as well.
What
Imagine-
show is this?
Imagine Dave doing cat-cow.
Salute the sun. Excuse me, I've done my yoga. I've done a bit of
you're showing
yogaing
some-
in my time.
You're showing some decent yoga knowledge, yeah? Bit of crab.
I like pigeon.
Salute the
Oh,
sun.
what's that one?
Oh, I'll show you later.
Something lion.
Show you later. Opens the hips.
Goodness me.
All right, gotta
It's not
stop
a
now.
watershed yet, now.
Gotta stop now,
Please,
guys.
that's
It's
what
on the
it's
storm. Bring it
for.
back. Bring it back. You are watching Racing
I think
Post
I know
Live,
what
I
you're
assure
talking
you.
about, actually.
With Dave Orton, Natalie Green, the innuendo queen, Robbie Wild as the
Yogi
anti-postman,
himself.
and James Millman doing a sterling dog. Did we get a nap out of you
Namaste.
today? What was the nap? Is it already?
You
Is it
know,
sunk?
we
Apologies.
discussed. No, we discussed this.
You wanted to put
constantly.
Jonbon up.
We agree with the
Disgraceful.
Rodway.
It's Harbour Lake
Exactly
coming up
so.
in the final race.
And I
at
bet I've missed him
Aintree.
again all year.
He's been
Since-
avoiding you, I think.
Since the flat season
Since
started,
you
he's
upset
disappeared.
him. It's since you upset him.
He's quite an elusive bear, though, isn't he?
We've got Cheltenham coming up next week. We're covering both days of that, by the way. Then, of course, we'll do that marvellous meeting at Ascot, where Ascot looks like a grotto at the moment if you go there. It's honestly...
Grotto.
Does it?
Grotto, yeah,
Grotto,
it's absolutely fantastic.
Like Newbury.
It was Newbury like a grotto?
I thought they did the
Oh, they've
whole-
got the thing in the middle of
the fun fair.
No, that's quieting down. There's going to be a big storm about that,
There's only a
wasn't
few complaints. They couldn't see the back straight.
there?
Who's going to Winter Wonderland, then?
Yeah. I haven't, but
You and producer Sam Hart going together, aren't you?
yeah, you did it after the Derby Awards, didn't you? Or was that
Yeah,
before
there's
the
too
Derby
many
Awards?
humans there for me.
A lot of humans. A lot of Stein beers as well, which is
Quality over
absolutely
quantity,
lovely.
yeah.
Who's feeling festive out there at the moment? It is
Not
now the
me,
month. We need a
pal.
charity, by the way, for December. Barry's not here. We usually sort of get in Barry's ear about that before. And Movember, that was a
So,
great month.
Fazza, if you're watching, you shouldn't have shaved the beard, mate.
Do you think it suited him?
Yeah, I did.
I
liked it.
quite
One
like.
beardy man
I
to-
quite
you can tell him
like-
on Monday.
I quite liked it. I saw him at Newcastle.
What
I
I'll
was
just
like,
say is bring it back, okay?
Barry.
Okay, all right. You can tell him that.
I will.
Yeah, all right.
I've never met the geezer in person, actually.
Haven't you?
He's great.
I wouldn't recommend calling him the geezer.
No,
Well, he actually
What's he
quite
gonna
likes
do
Robbie
about it?
somehow. We're not sure how.
Barry's great.
All right,
He
okay.
doesn't-
So
he
riders on the
doesn't- He doesn't
storm.
like it when I take the mick out of his pronunciation, though, does he?
Well, no, he doesn't. But then
Gets a bit quiet when that happens.
we might be filming you meeting him on Monday. I'm hearing
All
in
eyes
my
on
ear.
it.
I bet you can't wait to see that, people out there. Okay, all right. This looks like proper gamble time now on Gunsight Ridge, doesn't it?
4.5, he's solid, but so is Rise in the Storm, 5.6, that he's not drifted
I
out.
think I saw 5-1 when the market opened for Gunsight Ridge, and he's got that popularity. I was, like I say, was with him last time. I'm not totally sure a soft ground 2 mile 4 race with some of the stretchers that I might call them in here is going to absolutely suit him. And
Well, it was the
he's
last
got a bit
time
of an
Exeter
oxo
he's
about him
tried
as well.
2-3.
Okay, so,
Has anyone had a winner yet?
It's not John.
yes.
Oh, don't tell him that.
Well, Love Embois. I've had
Oh, yeah, you've had Love Embois.
What else? I had the forecast, Jonbon and Boot Hill. That was easy. That was easy. What about the first
1.6.
race?
We
No
can't
good in the
include
first race.
Jonbon. We
Sounds
all
Russian
knew
wasn't
Jonbon
any
was
good.
going to win. But so you've
Oh, no,
had
the forecast.
Love Embois.
And the forecast.
So each way money on percussion at 28.
And Fortescue, fourth. It's definitely mine.
Yeah.
This is mine. It's coming
Layer
to the back of this,
Horse
by the way.
Senior was my selection.
We're just waiting for a race at Weatherby to finish, guys, and then we will be off at Aintree.
Grenadine's gonna turn it around, though. Isn't
The only one backed at price is Elvis Mail has been backed. He's
The lads in the gallery had it
11.5.
off on Facile Vega, I'm hearing. They've got
Hey.
those sort of. They got
could-
sort of.
I
those sort
need
of
a
he?
banks.
She
winner.
loves a 1 to 9 shot.
I
doesn't
could do with Cooper's Cross helping me out in there.
Come on, this is the time. This is the time. I mean, you did all your notes during the week and then you forgot them and you had to redo them, didn't you?
Oh.
he? Do you know what? Now I really like your case there about Cooper's Cross.
He's
you?
very
I like
progressive.
your case, yeah.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
He's just.
I
Right,
get it.
they're off.
Finally, they're off and running, and Aintree will be thrilled.
It's the longest preview ever.
Kilteely wasn't. That was like doing a Royal Ascot race, wasn't it? Okay, and Kilteely brings. I'll tell you what, there's a proper go for the lead on here, and the fascinating thing is, James Millman, that Gunsight Ridge is right up there as well, despite some reservations amongst us about his stamina.
Just dropping in now behind the top 3, but he's side 3.8, our clear favourite. Rise in the Storm, no, is now 5s. Night in Dubai, they don't like, out to 11s.
Oh, Gunsight Ridge put in a.
Oh, well, that was
one there,
also Elvis Mail, and we worried about the Kelso Air form coming here, didn't we? Stiff old fences, park fences they'd be called here. Elvis Mail for one of our readers out there. Absolute. Oh, I tell you what, another one absolutely went for it there. What was that? That was the Handsworth. Didn't fancy that fence either. Catmore
No,
ties
I mean,
there.
that's-
I'm looking for riders on the Storm.
It's wide.
Where is it?
He's probably again.
Wide.
The Exchange isn't minded at the moment, but that is not the position I was expecting.
Well,
in the
he's
run.
actually our favourite, 4.8, 5.6 Gunsight Ridge. Gunsight Ridge is on the drift.
He's just lost an early position, isn't he? But again,
I don't think the
wouldn't
light's
bother me.
very good here. Where's Cooper's Cross? Is it my eyes? I just can't really.
At the back.
Your eyes are going.
You're right. You're in
I am-
last.
Oh,
You
yeah.
lost.
Not going to
Oh,
contact
yeah,
him.
got me. I
It's
know.
big news.
Getting
Shahali
old.
and Munro,
I've
who
got
I've
me,
always
yeah.
usually had down as a
The
weather
horse I thought fell in the previous
blimey.
race.
I'm like,
See, Clan Legend, he went absolutely rocketing over that like a puissance horse. Brave Shashka horse that used to like to get on with it as a novice. He is being held up in the run today, and he was a bit weak in the run, wasn't he, as well, in the run up to the race, which suggests that maybe this is just a comeback mission for him, confidence-wise. Right, we're coming into the home straight. Night Dubai out the back as well. Again, I don't like the head carriage of Riders on the Storm.
Don't you?
No, I do not.
Yeah, he's probably
What's he looking at?
Might be closing some doors.
He's
for
doing a
himself.
correct
yeah,
rammer, isn't
he's
he?
just hanging.
He's
Yeah.
still joint favourite now on exchange.
They obviously think they're going too hard then, because Wishing and Hoping's up there. Conceded Briggs, who went out for the lead, he couldn't get it.
Oh, what's wrong with my horse, Cooper's Cross? It's
No, you
like
won't
he goes
chill.
into slow-mo
Chill.
over a jump.
Just chill. But again, you know, these are daunting fences in
I
comparison.
know, and
to what some of
they've
these-
got to look at them
They're
like
upright fences. They go around some of these northern tracks, even some of the West Country tracks, and they come to a big Grade 1
And they
track
go,
like this.
whoa.
What is this?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Question-
oh
question
my
for you.
goodness gracious me.
Question for you: who sung the song "Wishing and Hoping"?
Oh God! If you had asked me that anything but in the middle of a race, I'd take some time to ponder it. But you're gonna have to tell me.
Dusty Springfield, man.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, well
All right,
done.
fair enough.
Cheers, mate.
So we've got a
Very
couple
like
of musical
Dusty.
references in this race. Then I'm afraid if you're on Riders on the Storm and you're
What-
fans of Jim Morris and all that sort
What's
of
the
thing, we need to
market
start
on
get going.
Gunsight Ridge? Because I'd be pretty happy at this point.
He's now back into favourites in 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, he looks pretty nice there. Nice, lovely, cosy little posse. Very good rhythm. Looks like he's just taking it all in.
Cap or Toy and James Bowen, who actually was someone went off the rag of all. He's got a lovely sit there in second. Will this pace collapse?
I like Catelli Briggs, travelling wise, going into this fence in the McNeil colours in third place. I thought he's going well. We've lost.
Charlie
Yeah.
Monroe's fallen
Oh.
in.
Halley and Mahoney, that's twice you called that.
He's fallen twice today.
I didn't want to go there, Rob. I didn't want to go there. Clan Legend feeling the pinch. Night in Dubai again. Harry Skelton being very, very patient on him out the back. You need to get going though, don't you, at this point? And Riders on the Storm, the old Rowan winner, beat Hitman of course, and Garlaura took the Paddy Power Gold Cup. Again, they just think there's going to be a pace collapse.
He's drifting there. He's now up to 10s.
Kel Surprise. I think they've got his.
Oh,
my
Riders on the
lord!
Storm.
Oh,
He's
that
had a
wasn't
shocker.
good.
He's had a shocker, Riders on
I
the Storm.
He's
might-
almost gone out the side doors though.
It looks like the old Rowan was going to be his day in the sun, doesn't it? Because
Yeah.
he's not jumped hardly for Brian Hughes whatsoever, and he's just a head carriage. He's not on a going day.
That's a
All right,
pity.
so
Oh, there's a lot of birch out of that fence
all
there.
of a
There's-
sudden, night in Dubai, Harry Skelton thinks I better
Yeah,
get
he's
on with
knackered.
this as well because Gunsight
Yeah.
Ridge is making his move, guys. The holster
Gunsight
is
Ridge looks
prepared.
good here.
Yeah,
really
he does. And again, one of the
good.
gambles of the day this for Ollie Murphy. I'll tell you what, who saw strong leader in the first at
Oh,
at
is that
Aintree.
loose
That
horse
was
just
very
carried?
impressive.
No, there's one's gone out.
Kiltini Briggs again, still on the bridle. Right, what's this? 4 out then. As we go over it, and again, look at them out the back. Cooper's Cross, he's going to have to get going now, but he is not. He's got loads under the bonnet, Cooper's
Yeah,
Cross.
yeah.
Wishing and hoping going clear then. Alex Edwards from El Rowley, former Hunter Chaser.
He's 4.9 on a run, wishing and hoping. Who
I
tried to
tell you
hold
what,
on to
Cooper's
it.
is the one, that, isn't he? Look at him, he's absolutely cruising.
I hope so.
Gunsight Ridge to
Gunsight
beat,
Ridge
I'd
is
say.
still catching my eye,
He needs to
though.
get over this fence.
Oh, no, Dave,
he's
he's
walked
making
through
me
it.
zoom.
He's absolutely, he was cruising
He's got
as well.
to be tenacious
Cooper's Cross.
to pick himself together.
I don't think he's going to do it. Brave Shashka on the inside. This ran in the Arkle last
Very
time.
good training for
Come
him.
on,
Right on the
Cooper,
inside
pick
then.
yourself
I
up,
think he's
mate.
got it, isn't he, Brave Shashka? The market didn't want to know him.
Yeah,
We
he's
thought this might be a
travelling
prep.
gorgeously.
Cooper's Cross.
Cooper's
Whatever's happened
coming.
here, he's been pretty unlucky because he walked through that
Come on,
last
Cooper's
and he's
Cross.
absolutely
Whoa.
rocketing. Handsworth trying to get into it as
Come
well.
on, Cooper.
For Luke
He's not gonna
Dempsey and the
catch, but-
Irish. Look at Cooper's Cross. There's a big one in him, Nat. Just not today because
I know.
Brave Shashka has gone. And he just needs to pop it up. Gav Sheehan steadies him into it. He's got over it fine. Now he can go for him on the running. Handsworth running an
that's
absolute
impressive.
blinder. Cooper's Cross unlucky not to finish second. That was a good run. And Kilteely Briggs plugging on. But the cream has risen here. Is that a big marker for
I am
Edwardstone
very
coming
happy
up?
my each way on Handsworth.
That was
I'm really happy with that. Yes.
That's quite annoying. I was put off. I like Brave Shashka. I was put off by the problem he had in the Arkle, but he's obviously a class apart, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Just
just
put
you
off
never
by
know what
that
you're going to get
problem.
after a fall, do you?
No,
Look,
exactly.
Now, isn't this interesting? We are T-minus 10 minutes away, basically, they'll be from this. We've just seen a couple of horses come back, haven't we, off bad runs. Long Press, for example, pulled up, come back. Brave Shashka fell in the Arkle. Shishkin
Yeah.
Yeah.
coming back.
How many of these horses are winning handicaps off top weight at the moment? Like,
It's just great to see. Love
to be fair,
Envoi.
Love Ember wasn't quite top weight, but she
Oh,
was
you've
a
gone for
class.
Envoi now. You've
Hey,
gone for it.
Barry
I'm just-
Orr.
Oh, it's Bazza. Clean shaven.
Bazza is being interviewed. Yes, the clean-shaven Barry Orr is at
Further
Sandown
bearded.
today. I'll tell you what, all of our lot are at Sandown today again. We called Graham Rodway this time last year. He said that Grenadine was the bet of the season, and it went in. Was quickly followed
Yeah.
by his second bet of the season, my mate Mozzie getting chinned in the Royal Bond. You'll be delighted.
That's
to
my
hear,
first
Dave.
anti-postman winner as Grenadine this time last year, actually, mate.
And of course, he's come back in the
Oh,
Holden
yes.
Gold Cup. All roads now lead on this programme to the Tingle Creek with Biv. Farewell to Aintree. One more to come from there. Brave Shashka, look. A lot of people were shaking their head going, how on earth did that great
16
bomb
to
run?
1 Betfair SP. And never
Just
went
looked
any
like
bigger.
it was going to be a
Wowee.
restorative mission.
Indeed. You struggle to get your words out there, son.
I really did. I was looking at you. I always struggle to get everything out when I'm
That's
looking
not
at you.
not a bad sight, though.
Restorative.
Restorative. Did I say? Is that a word? It
Yeah,
seems like it, doesn't it?
restorative.
You know, I do have autonisms. All right, okay, let's go to
I
Sandown.
saw you in the news earlier this week as well, mate.
You what? Oh,
in the
yeah,
news
let's not
earlier
go
this
there,
week.
Robbie. Let's not go
Oh.
there. All right, okay. Shish, look at that beautiful graphic. Look at that, Dan Walsh's handiwork. Shishkin bidding to come back
That is
then.
gorgeous.
The
Dan
Clarence
Walsh,
House was
take
one
it
of the
out.
races of the age, wasn't it? And of course, did he leave it behind there? He just didn't turn up whatsoever in the Arkle. You were there that day, said he looked sulky in the paddock.
He just didn't. In the pre-warm up, I thought, God, what's wrong with him? He just looked like, I don't know. He just looked different. He just looked different to the other times. I thought, God, that's weird. And then you don't want to say too much about a horse as good as Shishkin, do you? But I just thought, God, I hope he's all right. And then obviously he wasn't. But I did say before the show, I'd rather he had a bone problem than a tendon or a ligament or all that rubbish. Gubbin's back problem, which is just nightmare. And
They were making
Henderson.
up excuses that we didn't even hear of before.
No, and if Henderson does really say, then it's totally mendable. I mean, I can't say anything bad about Shishkin, can I? But does it put an element of doubt in your mind after Cheltenham? Well, of course it does.
Will he step up in trip is the big question, but will he drift? I
he's
asked you what price he was, and he's held it, hasn't he?
2.26.
That sounds to me like he's held his
I
position.
thought he could have gone much closer to being odds on, to be honest. 3.1 Grenadine. They're a little bit worried yesterday. I think the ground was easier than they expected on the chase track because they expected
He
it
can't get it right, can
to
he?
be good in the run up to the race. Edward Stones, he's the one that is bigger perhaps than I anticipated. 7.8, 12.5 and bigger the remainder. But I'm going to go lay Shishkin in the place market, 2 places.
Hey.
1.59
Tasty.
I can lay him at.
I'm hungry.
£25 stake. I just feel if he doesn't come back, he'll be out the 2. So
You think this is just a win or a bomb?
a winner of, I think he'll either be
Boom or
the old
bust.
Boom
Boom or bust?
I agree with
I
that.
think a lot of people will be thinking that, guys,
I
out there,
agree.
won't they? Let's hear from you. You've got time to let us know. You've got around about 6
Is
minutes.
it? Oh,
Who's with or who's against?
Is it a boom or is it a bust?
Again, marvellous
That
to
is
have
so
you back.
clever.
It's all right. I can come in most weeks when there aren't train strikes.
Yes, I know. Poor Natalie's been hampered by train strikes, and I don't want to tell you, but your next due appearance.
It might drive down
Oh, there you go. You're going to beat them at their own game.
3 hours. It's all right.
Absolutely. Then
Sort
Just
that thing
Oil
out
will
of
get
the
on the
car.
road. All right, okay, Shishkin.
Oh, yeah.
Shishkin, Grenadine, Edward Stone. Gentleman to me, of course, who last seen beating Edward Stone. Aintree, wasn't it? Funambul Sivela, who some people like Keels have suggested might be a climber up the
he
ranks.
is lovely. He is such a
Venetia
nice.
can't do much wrong. And Dunny and
Quite a
and
little boy,
Dunvegan
isn't he?
He is
no
little.
mark.
He's
He's
a 14
dead.
hander.
He's dead economical over his
Yeah,
fences.
yeah.
He really tries hard. You can't knock.
Right.
Funambul.
Can I put you on
Sivela.
Shishkin Cam in the paddock? Can you have a look at him, please? Just
Yes,
while
I-
we talk. All right, so
Okay.
Robbie, what wins?
Grenadine, mate.
Last year's
This is the
winner.
nap of the day, yeah.
Terrible race, that Oldham Gold Cup, though, wasn't it? It fell apart. It was awful. He beat Dolos.
It fell apart
Something,
because Harry sent him
I know
on and he was too good.
The one thing that I liked about him that day, he's always had. They always thought he'd be a 2.5 miler. I think like his absolute best. He couldn't settle for them to run him over that trip. He
Yeah.
settled a lot better in the
Yeah, he
Oldham
did.
Gold Cup.
So you reckon our handicaps went overboard, giving him an RPR 173, a career best?
I
for
just,
that?
Yeah, was that?
I think
Well,
it just
mate,
fell
no.
apart.
Maybe not.
It wasn't him. Would have been Steve Mason, who is the best in the business.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're slagging off,
Third time lucky. Just Warlord didn't go a yard, and he's beating his stablemate, who Keels actually napped in that race and thought that he would.
Because of the weight difference.
Exactly that. He thought
Yeah.
Grenadine would need it. Chris Giles, the owner, Kills in his box there today, and they're all. This is his big day in the sun.
so do you feel like he's not improved?
I just look. This is quite straightforward. If you're on Grenadine,
Shiver.
you're all right.
I
Slipped
don't
off the
know.
fence
Ghost.
there.
This lady needs a meal ASAP. Yeah. Let's get her some nutrition. Like Wolsey or like Kieran, can you get some food in, please? Like, we
Goodness
can't have
gracious
this.
me, we need a
Right,
banana
well,
or something.
right, let's,
Oh,
get
no,
back
don't go there.
let's get back to the racing. Yeah. Grenadine, right?
Right, Grenadine's a solid one, right?
Right, if this race was at, say, I don't know, like Cheltenham or
Edward Stone's
another
been
another
around
track,
Europe,
Aintree,
hasn't he, trying to find a
sorry.
race?
If it's Shishkin v Grenadine at any other track, I probably wouldn't be on Grenadine, but Grenadine is Mr. Sandown, isn't he? His last 3 starts here, he's won
Yeah.
Grade 1s by nearly
Yeah.
21 lengths.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I look, love the horse, and he's only £5 inferior, and only £5 inferior to Shishkin now. But look, we're talking about like
a stone better here than anywhere else, basically.
Shishkin, and I did try and reach out for some stable confidence, and it wasn't. They are a little bit tight-lipped about it.
Well, the problem was
they want to see it.
He was clearly going okay in his work
As far
before
as-
the festival.
Yes, he was.
It's hard for them
There's
to
no
say
signs, were there?
that they're confidently got him back until he gets onto the track, I think.
Yeah, they had no signs.
And then he
did they?
got onto the track at Cheltenham and was
Didn't go
probably
out.
like,
don't
God, I've got
care.
to do this again, have I? I mean, it was such a hard race that he had. If you go back to his comeback at Kenton over the Christmas meeting, he just, there was a moment where Nico had to get after him, like he spiked on the, on the Betfair Exchange, and the turbo came into it. I'm expecting to see that. As far as I'm aware, everything has gone to plan at home. Everything has gone to plan at home. And we with Shishkin.
Sorry.
With the Shishkin.
Yeah.
And I've even got the scarf down now. I should go and get it. Well, I was wondering how I get it.
Get it, go get it.
I can't. Don't know how I can get it. I'm sort of attached to this chair.
We'll practice wheeling you around.
Of course you will. So I've only got another 10 years before that
We've not got
happens.
Chris Giles silks around. I'll be wearing that.
That's the Rich Richie. We've even got honeysuckle in as well.
I've never actually noticed that little collection there.
There is a lovely little collection. There's more up there. Look, we've got Apluard up there. We've got loads of scarves.
I'll have some Coolmore Derek Smith.
Let's get some socials up if we can, because I know loads of you are out there telling us whether you're with Shishkin. What are we expecting here? A lot of good judges are like, will not touch him with a barge bowl because has he had the physical problems? Is it all mental? And Lucas Lavin joins the show and says Shishkin bolts up and then loses to the king, Energamine. I think Energamine, after this race, could be one of the bankers of the festival, because if Shishkin is unimpressive or doesn't do what he does, they're going to go up and trip with him. I think that's almost certain. Edwardstone could also go up and trip. It could be a really soft champion chase. Mally D, Mally, welcome back.
Welcome back,
This is
Mally.
Gentleman to me, folks. He does look like a big prize.
So
Is this the Wizard Willie?
I've watched the replay quite a few times. It was disastrous, wasn't it? Rach was on that Curse Sublime that fell at the last, and Gentleman to me couldn't do anything. He went round to the right and then he jinked off to the left. So obviously Jockey came off and he was a bit sloppy at the third last, but I just thought he looked a bit tired.
He was going backwards, wasn't he?
He just looked tired.
Yeah.
He looked tired. But I wouldn't. I can't find myself ruling him out, Gentleman to me, and a bit more value.
No love for Edwardstone.
But then there's not a great value.
Little back in, 6.2. Shishkin's now 2.46, 3.25 Grenatin.
Will Gentleman to me lead?
I possibly.
You obviously didn't do the preview for this race.
No,
Why? Why not?
Yeah, I didn't do my pace
think-
map.
Well, I'm looking for where the pace is at, and
Well, I thought maybe Gentleman to me,
Shishkin's gonna be
especially
up there, isn't he?
having.
Well,
somebody
Dunvegan, I know he's the
rider.
outsider, but he doesn't normally go
Dunvegan,
on.
maybe Johnny Burke.
If I was on Gentleman to me, I'd probably want to
They
get.
keep
get
trotting,
into
they're
that
just
with them,
trotting
get up
Shishkin
front.
up at the start here. 2.46.
Oh, not more. I mean, come on.
Is that a major red flag or?
Well,
Or some-
they
well-
wanted to have another look at him, which
I mean, there's
they're happy for him to run,
Yeah.
but they don't normally trot him up.
Shishkin.
Shishkin.
What's
Yeah.
this doing on the exchange? He's obviously drifted now. as a result.
2.46. Is that coming into line?
having a
I
little
mean,
look
I
at
think
Shishkin
Gentleman to
really.
me is going to run well. Yeah.
Did they trot him up then, Shishkin?
Yeah.
I just thought he was being kept away from the others.
It's fine.
All right, okay, so Funambul
Here we go.
Sovolo's up there, Dunvegan's up there, Grenadine is up there as
Grenny.
well, and do you know
Oh.
what?
What was
Some
wrong with that?
Why? What was wrong with that?
Decent.
Have I
flag
missed
has
something?
gone up. The flag has gone up.
That fell in the green coat, a bit fussy.
Grenadine does
Some
look
farmer
flipping good.
at
fellow in the green
Sandow's
coat.
not happy with the start.
Grenadine
in the
does
start.
look
Yeah, quite a hunk. if ever I've
right.
seen one.
Yeah, he is gorgeous. He looks
I mean, come on,
well
if you're a
up for it.
starter, man, what? This is what
Yeah, it's
infuriates
just like-
people. Loads of people just turning into ITV for one race today, and we've seen that at the start. It's just
Yeah.
like, come on.
Disgraceful, man.
What? Now try and explain to someone who doesn't really know, like me, what was wrong with
Yeah, I
that
literally
start.
can't make a case.
Well,
for
I
it.
can't
They're
either.
supposed to be no more than a trot. Entering the
punts,
line.
It was a
And
bit,
they
of
were-
bit of
they were
jiggy joggy, wasn't
trapping.
there?
Yeah.
It was a bit of a.
They're
being told off, aren't
let
they?
the law.
They're being
they,
told
they,
off,
they
and
should have
like
stopped.
the pro he is, senior producer, Kieran Thurwell. Let's go across the line. Shall we? Who else is team?
Oh, I
Shishkin?
really wanted
master
to
stroke
wheel
there
him
we are.
across
Yeah,
the
producer
studio,
Kieran.
like,
There we are.
oh, they're off. Yippee!
This is, of course,
We're
Jet
going
Powered
nowhere
now.
near.
Hey,
We're
And
going nowhere
Shishkin
near
wasn't
that.
great
Me
at
No.
the start there. That's the first thing to say. He had to be shaken. He didn't really enjoy it. He'd have preferred a run in. And okay, so over the top, as expected, Gentleman to me. First thing to say, they're all
Look
over.
at that.
Thank
It
goodness.
was like,
in the middle.
gentlemen, I told you to go for the front, but he was like that. Yeah, yippee!
There's a hustle and a bustle for the race, for the ride up front, isn't there? And the hooded Gentleman to me, he's keen. He's got one way running off. He
jumping
goes,
like
"I
a
tell you
bunny
what,
rabbit."
Team's jumping.
what's going on with?
Strange.
He had to call a cab there, as we call it. He had to take his hand off the rein. Cab. I suppose that's why we call it that, isn't it? Dunvegan Keen at the outside of the lot. He's 160 Dunvegan. He's 100 to 1. Fernamble de Civilar, very progressive horse last year. They're hoping that he can make it to the Champion Chase.
Yeah, he'll keep going. He's a real gutsy little horse.
Yeah, again, like the other French thing we saw in the previous one. I see what you mean now.
Martin
They're all tiny.
Yeah, they're quite Venetia.
Oh, Pagai's a big old boy, isn't he?
Venetia, look out for small horses.
2.8 Shishkin now in the run.
2.8 Shishkin, because he's out the back, basically, and we're not totally sure how he's going. Edward Stone, though, sees them in.
To me, he's a little bit keen, isn't he? He's quite excited to be there.
Yeah,
He just had a little stumble up there.
He's like,
Come on, Shishkin can that.
Phrase.
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
He's 2 to 1 on the
He
exchange
looks fine and relaxed. He's not.
I'm a bit surprised he's not closer, but they obviously think they're trapping a bit, don't they?
Oh,
he
he
reached
for that one, didn't he? And he got a bit argy-bargy up Majiggy's bum.
3.45 he's gone out to
Don
briefly.
Vegan. He went slightly out to his left there, or maybe a bit more than slightly as well.
Yeah, he did.
Granatine at the moment, you'd have to have him fav, wouldn't you?
Oh,
Now he has gone fav.
He looks gorgeous, Granatine.
Yeah, he's really in a good place at the moment, isn't he?
Look at his tail as well. He finds it like
Jumped
easy,
it
doesn't
beautifully.
he?
Shishkin reached a little bit for him, an exuberant leap, I think you would call it. And
made a bit
Edward
of ground
Stone
on that,
continues
though.
to look on from rear. Over he goes then.
Shishkin's a big
Edward
jump.
a little bit sticky there if you're being critical, but at the moment it's Gentleman to Me leading about a length and a half up on Granatine. Fernamble Civola a little bit slow there, and Shishkin now takes his measure for third. Dunvegan on the inside of Fernamble Civola. He went out for the lead, but he's now gone back slightly in a prep race on the flat for this. And Edward Stone lost his Arkle winner, the 8-year-old who has won over course and distance, just thinking, if I pick up any pieces, it'll be great. Robbie, what wins?
Grenadine, mate. I've not changed my mind.
James?
Grenadine as well, just favourite 2.7.
Granatine.
I don't know. I wouldn't give up on Shishkin just
No,
yet.
I wouldn't give it. I mean, Shishkin does have an engine, doesn't he?
We're coming up to the railway fancies now, guys, and this is where, if you're Shishkin, you're going to want to start getting involved because they take that run after the fourth last and try and get away, and it can be really hard if you come out your comfort zone at Sandown there.
Coming up now,
Edward Stone needs to get a bit closer. They've shaken off Dunvegan, and great jump by Shishkin, his best one yet. Grenadine has shaken the reins there. Shishkin going up his inside. Edward Stone not off the bridle yet.
Now.
I'll tell you what, this is where we find out whether Shishkin's back or not, I think, because pain barriers will start to come into it. And he's still going well, but still Gentleman to Me up front. God, this is going to be some finish, this, guys.
This is a race and a half, mate.
This is a 22 Betfair Tingle Creek, guys, and what a race it's going to be. Shishkin again. This is what he tends to do in this flat spot time. He's got into favourite, though, James.
Yeah, 2.34, 2.6 Grenadine as it comes to the pond fence.
Gentleman to Me backs out of it. It's gone too quick. Fernamble Edward Stone going very nicely, but he's got a bit of ground to make up, hasn't he? Pond fence then. Oh, Shishkin thought about it. What was that all about? He put down on him there. He's got all of a sudden now to 20 to 1. Edward Stone says, all right, here we go. Shishkin going to be going up in trip after this, guys. He's not come back. All right, here we go. 2 out. Edward Stone going to come and have a crack. And it looks like Edward Stone's going to do it. Last year's Arkle winner. We've been waiting for him to run for about 2 months. He's gone on the lorry. He's never turned up. He's come to the basically Tingle Creek without a prep run. And what a ride this is. If he pings it, he's won. Edward Stone, last year's Arkle winner. Lots of people talking about how good the novice form was. Tell you what, it's absolutely breathtaking because away he goes. This was a horse got beaten in the Great Wood over
this is
hurdles.
against Grenadine and Shishkin and Gentleman to Me.
You
Look
have
at
to
him.
say that Grenadine has run his race there, guys. He's a clear second best. Shishkin runs on looking like he wants 3 miles.
That was, well...
Blimey.
I didn't,
wow.
If you were on Edward Stone, would you have said by that far? I mean, that was amazing.
Unbelievable
That's
scenes.
180 plus RPR for that, without a doubt.
We'll be playing the RPR game. Shishkin, we'll be going Gold Cup route after that. We'll have a little chat.
Take the scarves away, I'd say.
Well, the scarves, this is jet powered scarf, mate. I'm very happy to sport it any time of the day. And what a jump that was at the last by Edward Stone. He rode him cold, didn't he? James, when did they know?
They didn't really know until 2 out, really. Grenadine went 1.7. As soon as Shishkin made that mistake, the race appeared to be Grenadine's to lose. But I do think the fact that Tom Callum rode him so quietly, Shishkin was off the bridle early. He sneaked down the inside and he ran the home bends, kept it all very measured. He was weak in the run-up to the race. It actually was 10s opening up.
Wow.
Hit that in the run briefly, and then he just kept on getting shorter and shorter.
Right, what do we do with these scarves now? What do we do? Do we go towards the Ryanair? Do we go towards the Gold Cup? Is he ever going to come back? Let's hear from you. This is your forum now. We'll get beaten connections, of course. We'll get connections of Kingy. Alan King must be thinking to himself. He was getting loads of stick, wasn't he, for not running him as well? Yeah. Especially at Ascot that time where basically he called out.
But I think they've all been all 3 trainers. I think they've been proved right not to go.
I agree, all of them.
He wanted the prep run for Edward Stone.
They have.
And it makes you think as a punter, doesn't it? You know, they wanted the prep run, they haven't got it. All right, run well in the Tingle Creek, go and win maybe the Desert Orchid at Kempton or something over Christmas. You can take your pick at a few, you can go back to Clarence House, all that sort of stuff, en route to the Champion Chase. That probably put a lot of punters off. And it also makes you think, horsey people amongst us, assistant trainer James Millman, Nat Green, how many times going on the box, what does it take out of in the routine? And they're supposed to be trained to the minute, these horses, aren't they?
Some mentally they can't take it because they think they're going to be running on that day. He was a bit keen as a hurdle. I remember in the handicap hurdles, the big fields, he was very keen early doors. Whereas today, they were going quick, mind, but he'd switched off lovely and relaxed. And it was the most efficient I've seen him for a while.
He was really keen. Well, that was one of my questions to Jaden, who was looking after Constitution Hill, about a young horse like him. The journey up to Newcastle, but my interview was going to a race course and not running. What does it take out? I mean, but then she just said, Epatante, who's like, yeah.
Buzzy.
But someone like Constitution Hill, it's a day out, didn't he?
Well,
I think it depends on the temperament. I think it depends on the temperament.
It was 8-1 on the sportsbook pre-Tingle Creek.
Suspended. They're just working away the odds compilers to find out what's...
What do we guess? What do we guess? Let's guess the
I'm rubbish
price.
at this game.
Let's guess the price. What do you reckon? Have a guess.
What are you pointing at?
Well, I've got it up. I know what it's going to come
Oh,
up.
I can't see it.
3 to 1
Before
now.
Millman.
3 to 1.
Well, I was going to go 4s.
I want to go 4.
Well, you've just seen it and you're
Where?
guessing against it. It's there, woman.
Oh, I thought that was just a title. I didn't see that.
My
Episode 3
page
from
still
8.
says suspended, so you'll have to let us know,
I didn't
Dave.
realise.
It's threes.
3 to 1. And now
It's
you're
three.
looking at a proper rivalry between Edwardstone and Energamy now, aren't you?
I mean,
I'd like to, let's see him come over with Clarence House battle, yeah?
well, the Clarence House will be, you know, it didn't hurt Energamy, but it did.
I don't think it's going to hurt. It didn't hurt Edwardstone, is it? He raced about 7 times. It was only that last run at Aintree he was pretty over the top, but I think he ran 6 chases last season.
He's a seriously good horse, isn't he, Edwardstone?
I didn't see that coming.
Great seeing Arca winner coming out and putting it up in the division as well. Some of them don't go on, or they're either the worldies as well, aren't they? Granatine ran his race, guys, didn't he? No, that's what, you know, he's absolutely run very, very well.
What, 10 lengths back in the third?
A word on Shishkin. A
One.
word.
Nikki won't go to Ascot again.
I mean, that's
No,
about
that's
10
not one
words.
word. Struggling.
Salt. No. No, I wanted to say...
Salt!
I wanted to say pinch of salt.
I thought you were going to...
Salt!
Were you
I thought
thinking
it was like a
sluggish
really
or something?
cool
Your tail went
name.
out last
That's
night.
possibly one of the weirdest things
Salt.
I've ever heard.
I thought salt was like, yeah, like it's like a
Well,
word.
I told salt. No, I mean, right, take it with a pinch of salt, right? I'm not giving up on Shishkin.
Again, that's 20 words.
That was fair enough.
No, but
Outpaced. One pace.
pace,
I was going to say further.
that's
further.
better, yeah.
I mean, that's one word.
That's anything better than what I just said, mate.
I think struggling what to do, where to go next, pondering.
Struggling's a good one.
Struggling.
Struggling's a good one.
Struggling. What'd you do?
I don't know. Twilight.
One word.
Yeah.
Not salt.
no.
Anything but salt.
Anything but
Oh,
salt.
wordsmith now. Yeah, I want to say more words.
You're
Are you?
supposed to
Are
be a
you?
journalist.
No, I'm in.
Right, okay. We're going to go
If
to
you give me
Aintree,
100
guys.
words, I'll give you...
So you
Let's
said-
have a couple of socials before we go up to Aintree. Then what do we got? Watch out for Nick Rocket in the Fairy House bumper for Mullins today. Heard a nice few word about him for someone at Willie's. All right, love that, Lucas. A lot of people maybe got that in with the old facile double. Devo, great to see you back. I saw
Welcome
your
back,
Maxi social earlier. That was great because David Maxwell, one of our favourites, won a race. What did the panel like tomorrow in the Peterborough? Peterborough almost, you know, it used to be such a prestigious race. Because it's now shares the card with Fairy House, I don't think it ever really recovered. All right, okay. Look, I didn't say salt, Rob, so I wouldn't go too hard on that mispronunciation. Does the Peterborough get lost somewhat?
Optimistic, you should have said.
Maybe. That's better than what I
Because
said.
you're saying...
Does that run in the Peterborough?
All I'm saying is don't overreact. Don't overreact.
All right,
Listen,
Devo, I'm going to answer
What
this
have you got for the Peterborough? Because I've got a different
Caution would have been a good one.
tip for tomorrow, haven't I? Which my phone doesn't work, but you know what it is.
Do I? Oh,
Done
yeah.
it, heads.
Oh, yeah, runs it. Kelso in the first. Oh, First Flow comes back trying to win it again. Did he pick Dory?
Yeah.
Miller's Bank, Mr. Fisher, All Mankind, Do Your Job.
Proper old race,
and
that,
Pink
isn't it?
Legend. I would probably, I mean,
Do your job
Kim's
has
got
to
his
be...
horses in great races.
I've already put up a
Cheltenham.
I put up a bet for this already and for Bet365.
What did you do?
Oh, you can't,
What
yeah.
did you do? It's
You
all right,
just-
don't
you
worry
just
about it. You can
got
say it.
yourself
Go on, what did you
It's
say?
a different piece. I like Pick Dory.
What, the last time out winner?
Yeah, I mean, like first flow, I think, well, I mean, I know he won this last year on good ground, but he does want it a bit softer, doesn't he? There's
Mr. Fisher's won this one at Cheltenham. He's gone now, isn't he,
I'm
Fisher?
going to say Miller's Bank.
You like Miller's Bank for Alex
Yeah.
Hales?
Pete Dory was very good at Newton Abbott.
He's well fancied,
It's
Devo,
tight.
Alex Hales' horse.
Only a point between the top three. 9-4 first flow. Miller's Bank 11-4, 3-1. Pick Dory. I'm going to go in the middle. Miller's Bank for me.
Yeah, me too.
10-year-olds do win this race. If you're looking at first flow, Alpha Off, wishful thinking. They were veterans when they run it as well. And it's, of course, 2:55 at Huntingdon tomorrow, amongst an unbelievable car.
And what time's mine done it ahead? 11:30?
Yours is bang early.
Is it 11:30?
Yeah.
One for shout out Miller's Bank. He's unseated the rider on 3 of his last 7 starts.
That is the negative.
Well, that is the negative.
Pick Dory. Pick Dory.
We're talking about the Peterborough, by the way, if you want. It was a great. Look, that's a great one, Devo.
When they met
Absolutely.
right-handed, Pick Dory gave him £5 and a beating at Kingston.
I never really got on the Pick Dory vibe. I've got to
I
be
haven't
honest.
until.
No, I haven't
until
really. Maybe it's
now. I quite like what he did on his return.
Did you say 11-4 for Edwardstown? Yeah.
Yeah,
3 to 1, I said.
he's been cut to 11-4 for the
Has he?
champion chase. Yeah,
And Shishkin's up to 10.
I think right. So I could see
Shishkin might be
that
going
coming
champion
into
chase
5-2 for sure.
Shishkin can't go champion.
Fernie Hollow 8. Who knows where he might be?
Fernie, just another sick
Now,
note, isn't he?
yes,
He's like-
that was
He's like Darren
one
Anderson,
of
though,
my,
isn't he? He never turns up.
That was one of my absolute, and then exactly never turns up. But I think Ruby
Extremely
Walsh at one
talented
point
horse.
was waxing lyrical about Fernie Hollow, but obviously we don't really get to see him.
Oh, okay, all right. Great stuff. So that's Peterborough tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be out there. I'll probably be with Miller's Bank as well, actually, looking at that.
Oh,
one.
James, got your nap in this, have we?
Ah,
have.
not
Oh,
just
yeah.
James. Not just James.
Who else?
Whoa.
Well, I would have napped on What a Shout yesterday.
But you had to be difficult and argue with
Well,
the bear.
no, the bear got him first.
Bear stole it.
The bear stole it, so I had to go in the first at Aintree today. What happened? Strong
Say
leader.
magnifique.
Say magnifique.
Strong
yeah.
leader. What price was strong leader?
2 to 1. 2 to 1 somehow. He's a good horse, he is. But Harbour Lake, third in the Greatwood last time when they took out the hurdles, which didn't suit him, and he looked slightly devoid of 2 mile
Well,
pace.
didn't you not put him up in that?
I did.
Because I told you he wasn't quick enough for 2 miles.
It was a massive prize, and he rewarded each way
start
support. You're having a
listening
pop
to
with
his
me,
wasn't.
are
I
you?
told you he wasn't quick enough.
What did you put up in it?
Guess.
Well, not the winner, was
Yeah.
it? Oh,
you
fiend
know,
of a
you
man.
know, Dave Orton.
Fiend of a man, Millman is.
I think stepping back at half mile trip, and I do agree about the hurdles. I think if they had been in, it would have helped him because he's certainly bred to be a chaser in the future. Walking on air, I don't know what to make of him because he was so disappointing when we last saw him, and he was pulled out at Newbury because the ground was too quick. So clearly they're a little bit concerned that potentially he's a little bit on the fragile side. He's our
Whatever's
favourite.
been pulled out because of ground
Well,
is winning at
they've
the moment.
gone on to win. 3.8 walking there is strong in the market anyway for Hendo. Harbour Lake, he is a nap of the day. £25 win at 5s currently. He's solid. He's been that probably for the last 24 hours.
You're on a 4-timer.
Yeah.
And you got the place lay in of Shishkin. We should give
Shishkin-
James a metaphorical round of applause for that.
And he
by the
came
way.
third as well, so it wasn't a bad start really. Because he didn't totally bomb out as such. Because I thought he was going to stop after the pond fence and nearly pull up because he really did lose his momentum.
Yeah, I think we're looking at Ryan Earls there, even if not maybe a little bit further as well, which is something that they always harboured ambitions of doing it. Which is Nicky and 2 milers, you know, it's going to go hand in hand as long as they're winning. All right, okay, we've got to move on though. So Harbour Lake, I like him a lot as well. I'll give him a chance. Walking on air, of course, was thought to be Grade 1 class, of course. He did look very good, didn't he, when he won?
Didn't look so good at Aintree in that Grade 1. I mean, it's only Grade 1 second start, but
He's got to come back. He would have run in. Was it Jerry Fielden or was it the race before, wasn't it? Of course,
yeah,
the
that
2 mile
one,
4 race.
yeah.
But you like one in this as well for the main men.
I'm surprised Langadan's that big a price.
8.4.
I mean, we watched him on live, didn't we, Dave, on his return?
Very popular horse.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't understand his price. It's easy to, I know it sounds like in hindsight sort of, but I couldn't really understand why he was so well fancied at Aintree because he wasn't favoured by the terms of the race on his return, and he always takes a run or two to get going, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's before Cheltenham last season.
It was the Dashel Drasher race, of course.
So I'm not really reading too much into that, but I'm reading into the fact that the way he won that handicap at Aintree at the festival here was very impressive. And, you know, they're talking about Grade 1s for him, like walking on air potentially. So, I mean, he's got to be the each way play, I think, at around 8.4.
You're nodding.
I agree. No, I mean, look, you know, April he won that Grade 3 hurdle. He was second to Galloping de Champs and Martin Pike 2021. He's got good form. The only thing I wrote down was, is he, I mean, it's a stupid thing to say, but I've obviously written it down for a reason, is he slightly more of a spring horse? Just when I'm looking back through the form. I think you could make a loose argument for that.
It's 1-4-4 now, so going for the Martin Pipe off, that's going to be difficult, isn't
Yes,
it? So
exactly.
to win it.
So I just kind of thought about exactly what Robbie said again, the Dasher did Langadan third. I thought Langadan's got a really good chance in this. It is a little bit tricky because, of course, they can make cases for these. What about this Herbiers?
Herbiers. For your en public.
I do think this would be probably one of the stronger ones for the yard of today. I think this would be one of their stronger picks, but I've obviously thrown 2 in and to no fruition. But
well, the form was given a big boost from Griffithana.
Ran a cracker behind first straight.
Yeah.
She probably just needed her return, I think. But
She was there was no market support whatsoever for a Newbury behind her BA. I didn't think that was a great race at the time, but it's actually working out better than it looked. So
yeah,
I just think at the
first
price
race,
as well,
of
it's
course.
still
That was the Jerry Fielding, wasn't it? Yeah.
still a good. Where's the price on there?
What are you looking for?
Herbier.
19.
do you actually need?
Yeah.
Do you need glasses?
I don't know.
I mean, she's advertising a need for glasses.
Let's get that checkup done before next time I see you. Yeah?
Oh, I probably do actually, but gutted because I've had such good eyesight all my life.
Because when you start
How
looking
can
at
you see
screens all the
glasses?
time.
You'll be fun. You'll be fun.
No, I won't see
Yeah,
them.
you will.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
Where are
Salt.
yours? Let me put yours on. I won't
That was
see
a
them.
weird little moment, wasn't it?
Weird moment, but then in your mind, Wilders, it's a weird old
Oh,
place.
it's an absolute
Oh,
so
one word
dark
for
place up here,
Shishkin.
my
Salt.
friend,
Salt. One word
Salt.
about Shishkin.
Salt.
The words just didn't come out. Like,
It really did. No, I love the fact you had a stab at it, considering
Yeah.
you had so many in your mind going round and you picked out Salt.
about it, mate,
Wonderful. Walking on air. Tabor, of course. What was the good mare that he had?
Dana Blue.
Refinement.
Vidana Blue. See, that picked that
Memory,
word out,
yeah.
didn't you?
You need to remember
was-
who's got the memory, yeah?
Vidana
£10
Blue.
now,
I was
£10.
impressed.
Whenever
Actually,
people see
was.
these colours, they love it, don't they? Because it's Tabor's mum, is it? Or is his wife? Sorry, I should say. Is it-
Doreen.
Yeah, the wife, isn't it, of course?
I
Miss
don't know
Doreen
the
Tabor.
relation, to be fair, but...
But people get sort of like
It's
thinking they've got a good
Doreen.
one. It is Doreen. And continues to hold its
Doreen.
price. But there has been proper support now also for 2 others in the race. Sandy Thompson's Benson, who he inherited from Dr. Richard Newland. A horse that has found
good
just
doctor.
one too good. And again, he's still quite well handicapped on his old form. He like it the further they go. He's a horse that sort of, loves
I
Sandown.
looked in and out of that a bit, but I was put off. Why was I put off? I had something against him. I can't remember now.
Really strong, 5.1. Favourite walking on there, 4.1. Harbour Lake, 4.8. They're all strong as the trio ahead of the market. They're
Yeah.
all solid.
The market thinks it's got this by the short and curlies, basically.
Don't necessarily be surprised from a good run from Size and Potsy as well. Because
Yeah.
he's
Handicap
£18
has
lower.
dropped in a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
probably bumped into one,
he's-
didn't he? Tamuras looks like a very good horse for Nichols.
Yeah, he won a Grade 2 chase, beat Master McShee in March.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a 1.56 hurdler
form.
and he's running off
that's-
Chaser. Sorry,
yeah,
1.33.
David
Yeah.
Pike might have something in mind for him.
That's what I thought about
taste of it.
Benson. I did have a note on Benson. I thought Haydock. I thought he was. Yeah, no, I did agree that he did come under
Bit
pressure.
sharp.
The soonest he looked like he was under pressure,
Yeah.
the soon under the cosh, and then he looked like almost a little bit flattered to get where he did. That's it. But Sandy's very, very good, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I just had a slight negative against Benson, who will now go and win because I'm not having the best day, am I?
And the last time he ran off this mark, he actually won it as well, 1.27. So yeah, all right. So Brian Hughes
There you
takes the ride
go.
there. The Champions Jockey could do with the winner as well. But Harbour Lake then pressurising, walking on air for favouritism. Langadan, bigger than some of the panel might expect. That's the pick of Nat and Robbie. Good luck wherever you are playing. That's James's Nat. Look, he's on a 4-timer.
Nah, not quite.
No.
And it's just, Langadan. The rest of them, apart from the top quartet, they are very weak.
If there's a rag, it could be Bold Plan, who just showed next to nothing on his return at Kempton, but he might have been a bit lively for him there. He's an April Cheltenham winner, isn't he? And he beat Dorking Boy, who ran very well at the weekend in the race that Walking on Air was supposed to go. If there's a roughie in there, it's Bold Plan, I think, who's quite well handicapped on his best form. So Isabel Williams and Evan Williams as well. Lee Murphy's got an interesting horse in here called Hardy Du Menil for Noble
Big owners.
Yates colours. What did you say?
Big owners, but try and impress the Whaley Thompsons.
The Whaley Thompsons.
Whaley Cohen, sorry.
When James makes a mistake, it's always worth pulling up on.
Daily Thompson, isn't it?
Everyone's having a bit of a moment after the
Yeah, I
Tingle
had
Creek,
Envoy.
aren't
I landed nice.
Yeah.
We've all slipped up at one
The,
point
Haley
today. but-
the Whaley Thompsons.
We all slip up. We all slip up.
cheaply
It's
priced.
You're
not-
thinking about a future
Human.
family
We're on air
union.
for like a million hours.
Yeah, it's knackering. We've got some people that are very hungry in this studio as well.
Yeah.
So I'd
Like
like
the
to
lady
speak for
to my
yourself.
not much at the Thirsty
Should have
Bear.
had lunch then, you buffoon. No,
Pot
indeed.
nuts.
We shall quench that after this show. Right, so who's going to lead here, guys? It looks like Romeo Brown for Sue
Benson's
Smith.
pretty forward.
Benson's up, and off we go then. The last race of the day at Aintree. We've got one more coming up at Sandown as well. We'll try and get you some quotes from the Tingle Creek coming. And Members Club, of course, tonight around about 6 p.m. Digital edition, you can get at 9 p.m. They'll all be there.
Oh, yes.
Another great day of National Hunt Racing, and it's all about the honeysuckle tomorrow, isn't it, guys? That's great. Honeysuckle colours, of course, in this race on Sizing Potsy, Kenny Alexander. All right then, Romeo Brown, Herbier right up there as well. Walking on Air, beautiful position for him on the inside. Harbour Lake got a target on his back. Langerdan's in midfield. Bold Plan, the aforementioned Ruffy that I said could go well. He's on the outside. As James said, Benson right up there as well. Looking for WizKid, he's in the middle. What else we've got? Foster Island, second last time for Mickey Hammond. Emma Chaston-Smith getting a big ride there. Looking out the back, what have we got? Ballyholme, who was the outside of the lot for Fergal O'Brien, the veteran making his comeback. And I think that is just about the lot. James Millman going into the home straight for the first time.
Well, he's got a lovely position, James Bowen, on walking on there, and the market agrees. 3.2 our favourite. He's jumping, he knocked the first one slightly. Let's see how he jumps over this.
They're just sort of going leisurely sort of gallop, aren't they?
Yeah, not like in the Grade 1 where he just completely demolished a few hurdles, and that was that. He's in a much better position today than what he was last April.
Yeah, Harbour Lake's just tracking the favourite.
Yeah, I think he's in a nice position there.
He's got a
On
lovely
the
position
rails,
on the
he's
inside.
really nice, looks relaxed.
Okay, all right. I'm looking,
Who's up further on the...
I'm looking back.
Herbier's
Langerdan.
tracking the two of them.
Benson just looking like he just wants to give Benson a little bit of space, a bit of room, don't you think?
How you feeling,
keeping
Salt
him-
Boy, about Langerdan?
Still
Hanging a bit
absolutely mortified
Benson,
by what
doesn't he?
happened About 10 minutes ago, mate.
His head carriage, don't you think?
Langerdan.
Oh,
Not
we
an
do giggle
awful
on
lot
this
to
show.
comment on. I mean, he's travelling fine enough at this stage.
Yeah, there's not really a lot
No
to say
negatives,
where he
no
is
positives.
there, Langerdan. He's
Are they
just...
going pretty slow? I
You
don't
also
know.
Yeah, they
can't see
are.
him
It's
very well.
this was what we call a modest gallop, basically, and the fact that Benson just wants to go that bit faster, doesn't
Yeah, Benson's just pulling away a bit,
Yeah.
isn't he? Just saying, come on, let me go, really
he?
kind
I
of...
like the tactics on Benson. It's like they know he's going to hit the flat spot, don't they? So
Yeah.
if you're going to be on a horse that hits a flat spot, you want to be in the top four,
Yeah.
so then you're not too far out of your ground when
Otherwise,
it happens.
then you're not going to be able to...
Just a
Right,
bit
yeah.
keen,
Get back to
Dave
them.
Orton, our horse, unfortunately, Harbour Lake at the moment.
That's what I thought. He's pulled him off the rail, isn't he, to try
yeah.
and get him a bit more settled. I thought he was a tad keen as well. But the market still quite likes him.
Yeah, we're not negative. 4.8, what he was at the off. They're strong on walking in air, though. I think you'd be happy if you took the favourites.
He's a topical named horse, isn't it? Because you think of the Snowman. when you
I
think of walking
know.
on there, don't you?
Oh, God, it's amazing.
You know, Aled Jones.
Oh,
yes.
heaven.
Anyone was a choir person
Heaven.
on this panel?
You heard me
Choir boy,
sing.
mate. I was
I have heard you sing.
backseat of the bus,
I've
mate.
got the
don't know
worst
about
voice in the actual world. I
I
might go on that singing competition where you mime and have to guess if you really... I mean, I am that bad.
Oh, like the lip syncs.
Yeah, I could do that.
That would be. I've always thought that would
I
be
mean, I
almost
am
impossible
such a bad
to do.
singer, people. So Herbier's mid-div, needs to try and keep up a little bit just to be...
A singing commentary would be interesting, wouldn't it? Right, okay, off we
that.
go.
Mark Boylan.
Oh, one's got that bold plan. Got rid of Isabel Williams. Might have been.
Thanks.
Let's have a look. We can't quite see out the back.
yes.
Looks like that was bold plan then. Not today.
tricky.
Sizing Potsy keeps catching the eye. You give him a mention.
Yeah, shout out to Simon Potsy there.
Shout out to the
Harbour
suckle.
Lake's catching my eye a bit here.
He just.
I hope he's got
Just
something
whether he's
left at
going
the
to
end.
have enough petrol in the tank. We're being a bit cynical, aren't we, and James? The nap is down here, basically. Langerdan still looking on from rear. We know he can finish with a rattle.
Benson's running a nice race so far,
I think the
isn't
favourite's
he?
just going beautifully, isn't he? And what is he, James? We're on about 11.08 now at the moment.
2.5, but like I say, if you've backed the favourite, there's nothing to concern you at the moment.
The Irish runner skipping court for Imperial Cup winning Peter Fahey and Kevin Sexton. Again, just about that's got loads of running on the inside.
That's
Will need a
55s
run.
if you like that one.
We're entering the home straight then for the final time this Saturday here on Racing Post Live in association with Betfair Aintree. We've been over the beach offences. That was absolutely marvellous stuff, wasn't it? We've seen Noble Yates. What a turbo that was nearing the final fence. And
he
here
didn't
we
jump
go.
too
I'll tell you
well
what,
walking
walking
in
on
the
there was great there.
We joint favourites
That was
now. Favourite
3
Harbour
out.
Lake.
All right, okay, so here we go. Benson, this is where the flat spot might happen because Romeo Brown up front is finally stepping on the gas. And Benson hits that flat spot. There it is, the customary one. The strong travelling walking on air, doing what we expect him to do. But this is a long old home straight, Robbie.
Long old home straight, yeah. I'd like to see Langerdan get out. He's got a wall of horses.
No, we're 2.5, Dave. 2.3.
Oh,
travelling
we've gone
nicely.
fav, James. We've gone fav. This is the great great. Would form it could be a big half an hour for King if he pops
Oh,
this.
yeah,
I'll tell you what, I don't know if he's going to be quicker than walking on air, though. I'd still be with the Fav, I think. And at the moment, Benson, one of the gambles of the races, was there. Harbour Lake just running up and down the spot. If anything, that early exuberance has cost him. He's not going to be winning it. Benson comes in. Romeo Brown got a freebie up front. He's still there. Walking on air, going through the pain barrier now, not really going for it. Harbour Lake trying to come back into it with Herbier's. WizKid's running a big one. This is going to be a make all, isn't it? Because Romeo Brown and Thomas Wilmot claiming the 3. Benson had absolutely every chance. Looks like the handicap has kind of got him about right. The 2 are going clear. Romeo Brown, one of the outsiders a lot. 50 to 1 I saw on the boards, I think. Walking on air, looked like he needed it, really. Just had a bit of a blow. Harbour Lake not sure to do what with him. Looked like, if anything, he wanted a bit further. James Millman.
Betfair SP 73.3 for the winner. And when they went around the home bend, he was still 30s out in front. They just sprinted up the home straight. I think Harbour Lake hit 2.12. A fast run, 2.5 is what he wants, because he'll settle early then. They've actually walked in there, they've tracked each other, they finished up sides. Just the top 2 relaxed, they quickened away.
Yeah.
In running, punters didn't really see it. They didn't shorten the 2 at the front end, particularly.
They thought the outsider getting a freebie was going to get swallowed up.
And that was talking the race. They went a lot safer out it, and not a lot up and up the home straight either.
Wow, shock time then. Romeo Brown. Romeo done, I think, aren't we now at Aintree? Let's move back then to Sandown, because we've got the London National coming up. We'll talk about the National, of course, today. We saw Ashbourne Lad, didn't we? Ashdown Lad, sorry, for Darren Yates, go and take out the Becher. We've seen Noble Yates go and do it. Will we see a national contender coming out here? I actually really quite like one in this, but I'll give James Millman the floor.
Well, the market's all about one horse, Revels Hill, who is my fancy, but he's 3.2. He's short enough, but he's relatively unexposed for this kind of race. £25 win at 3.25 is the selection. The next 4 in the market are effectively all the same price. Eclair de Guy, In Rem, D Salbar and Quick Wave are all within a point, 7 to 8, and then 15s and bigger the rest. So you've got one horse really taking a huge chunk out of this market for the London National. The North East Syndicate off the mark. Earlier in the day, I expect a lot of them are probably doubling up as regards to the pair of them. Good run behind Your Darling. He was very impressive for the Pauling team at Ascot. You'd imagine stepping him back up in trip like he did when he went to Taunton and beating the 2 Amigos. It seems too obvious, and the market is agreeing with that, but he's the selection and the one hopefully give us a winner to end the show with.
Yeah, the handicap nudged him up £1 for that Ascot return, the 7-year-old, and Kevin Brogan, the lucky recipient, on the favourite, then 3 mile 4 furlongs. Going to take some getting here. This is the last race of the day here on Racing Post Live. Natalie Green, try and knock us out the park.
Yeah, I'm going to, but my phone stopped working, so I can't see anything.
What
but
about your notes? I mean, these extensive notes. You must have.
No,
you must have an essay about this race, haven't you? Blank pages in it.
No, because I stopped at this one because I know about this, but it stopped working, so I can't see anything. But it doesn't really matter because it's all in my head anyway. I thought Revels Hill.
Thank goodness, because it's not in his.
Was
I'll just make it up.
the obvious, but also the very likely winner. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and end with a little forecast.
Oh, here we go. And we might get an exchange price up for this, James.
Revels Hill.
Yep, to beat.
And it's chased home by Eclair de Guy for Lucy Wadham, yeah?
Okay.
Sticking your neck on the line there.
I'm sticking my neck on because the weight 10, because I literally can't get anything to
10-4.
work. 10-4, Harry Cobden.
He's getting that's a lot. That's over a stone from Revels Hill.
Exactly. And I got to go out with a bang, and I haven't. Hey, listen, my hand's worth I've looked at is probably one I'm going to take out today, 22 to 1, getting
Cooper's
second.
Cross was the
So I was
one
actually terribly delighted with my each way in the 14.40, but I want to go out with the top, and it's Revels Hill, chased home by Eclair.
Using
11 to
24-hour clock.
1.
11 to 1
on the sports book.
Shall we have a tiny bit on that?
I'll
Let's have a
take
10
that.
on it.
Are we going to use some of the funds? £10.
I'll take
Come on,
that.
Barry's at the
I
Sandown. He
did
can't
have
hear
more
us.
to say,
Pressure's
but
on
I
that.
forgot, and it was some reason why I thought.
So
Right.
£10 forecast.
Well,
Revels Hill
Well,
to
I had
beat
it all
Eclair de
mapped
Guy.
out in my head what I was going to say.
I noticed you're using the 24-hour clock there, Nat.
Third in this race 12 months ago, £7 lower. That must have been. That must have been the note.
This will be the third run after wind surgery.
You like that?
Yes, that's what I like.
Third run.
The third one,
Yes,
dear.
third run.
don't normally
No,
hear
because
that
it
angle.
showed big promise after the second run last time. It looked like it had worked. So I thought, actually, if it's working and the horse is in confidence, I thought, yeah, this could be. I don't think it's going to
You
beat
definitely
Revels
know a lot
Hill.
more about breathing operations than him.
Well, they all have them now, don't they? But I don't think it's going to beat Revels Hill. But I thought if I'm looking for one in second, yes, Becher Abba, I can see the love with that, but I just thought
Becher Abba's just like he's the set your clock horse here, isn't he?
So you could do Rebels Hill, Becher Abba, or you could do Rebels Hill like I'm Eclair de Guy. I wouldn't put anyone off having a bit.
I just slightly wonder if it's absolutely right ground for Becher Abba, but I at that price you've got to be having a bit on Becher Abba.
Yeah, no, I think you probably have.
This is kind of his race. He bumped into one last time. He's never been out of the top 2 at Sandown. He came in. He was in the remastered race, of course.
He was 6th in that one.
He was in that race, which is just throwing out
That
winner after
Lamilos
winner after
form's
winner.
looking pretty good.
Yeah, and the Lamilos form, who won this, of course, this race last year. So, and he went well for a long way, Becher Abba. Philip Hobbs is having a bit of a transitional time at the moment. He doesn't have some of the owners he used to and all that sort of stuff. And but when he gets this horse is an established hand, shall we say?
Well,
and this would have been his plan.
4th from 21 in the last fortnight is Team Hobbs.
Yeah, it's picking back up. It is picking back up, but there's been I think he got something turned over.
Oh, he
in
looks
the
good, Eclair de Guy.
first race. Timeo looked a bit.
They didn't look great at checks the first time at the fences, but they're a bit stuck now.
What's Lucy Wadham? Because that Hurricane Bay, do you remember the one that Bryony rode at Wetherby? And it looked like it had just been broken in, and then it won.
Oh, that was an eye catcher, wasn't it? When he did that.
That was a real eye catcher at Hurricane Bay.
6 to 4 on though, wasn't it? When
What's
it won
Lucy Wadham's form of late?
Run to form is 40%.
That was our winner.
That was. That's
She's
it.
had 2 seconds, a third.
It's
so.
2
slightly
seconds
below
and a
par.
third. Okay, good. Okay, well, 2 seconds.
But then, the highest run to rate. I mean, Ian Williams. What's going on with his jumpers? He's 8 on the run to form. We've been flagging that up, guys, haven't we? David Piper's been having Williams at 31. Charlie Lonson's going well. He's got Almazar Garden, who took a fall last time. Venetia Williams is 50. Quick Wave is not without a chance here, by the way. One after a layoff last season. Don't let the 327 delay put you off. There's been a gamble on in Rem by the looks of things. We'll go to that on Jane Williams, who just continues.
I think because of the yard form, again, we put up Hermes Boy earlier.
She's 54.
Now they are all getting backed, irrespective.
Some well-handicapped horses who perhaps needed his first 2 runs of the season as they get down at the start for the London National. And, of course, then you've got Harry Fry, who's having a great time of it at the moment.
Yeah, he's got
try and
quite
find
a
a
good.
love in Bois.
He's got some really nice horses, as Harry Fry, hasn't he?
When's Metier going to come back out?
Well, he's already got his flat win on the board, hasn't he? Handicap, nice prize.
That was a very nice prize, wasn't it? And
Safi
you have to
Osborne.
think there's a good one in him. He might be going back to Lingfield Millions, potentially.
You went the Mayor's Hurdle quote for Love Envoy.
Yes.
11 to 2.
Yeah, that's a bit short. For
Brandy
me.
Love 4 to 1. Epatante 9 to 2.
She ain't winning the mayor's hurdle, mate.
I don't know.
Not for me.
She saw off the Irish novices. She saw them off.
10 to 1 Honeysuckle. Get that money on.
Or Epatante. That would be cheeky. wouldn't it? That could yet be a really saucy market.
Epatante. She's not in the same league as Epatante.
Who?
Love Envoy.
If I-
I mean, that's not to say she can't be.
It's a trip as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the trip. Don't forget that. It's not a 2-mile race.
Yeah, no,
But isn't that
Epatante
defeat the
won
object,
too.
having the Mayor's Novice over 2 and then the Mayor's Hurdle over 2.5?
Noel Fahili, who of course trains, has the syndicate of Love Envoy, says, I thought she would struggle today giving the weight away. Not what we heard from the odd no. But she doesn't know when she's beat. The end goal is the Mayor's Hurdle. We'll come back to Sandown for the listed Mayor's race first in between. She just loves Sandown, doesn't she?
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, just take a lot of beating in that.
Keep it simple.
I know I'm being down on all these anti-post prices, but I think 11 to 2.
You are the anti-post man.
I think, yeah, I am indeed, yeah. I mean,
What's caught your eye for this weekend?
well, in some of the
I
market
think going
moves.
forward, yeah.
I think the Edward still one's pretty fair, to be honest. Like,
11 to 4.
not that you want to back it, but
Can you beat no good mean?
well, look what he did there. He's beating. Like we've all been talking about how brilliant Grenadine is. Like, if
Just keep looking at you and seeing the word salt.
salt.
So
Well, look. Well, if I mean, it's an easy thing to say, but you take out Edwardston,
Yeah.
we're saying how good Grenadine was. So.
Can I give you a quote on Jonbon?
Jonbon, yeah.
Jonbon.
Please.
They will. He's a genuine 2-mile at the moment, but we'd love to find out if he can stay. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere else but the Arkle. We'll stay at 2 miles now because he's so quick. We love it.
Thank you. And we're off.
And we're off, okay, in the London National. Let's have a look and then what's going to lead. We've seen some right
Little
outgoes
drift
for the lead.
up for Revels.
One more flurry for Ian Williams. It's just his jumpers just have not been performing for whatever reason. A slow jump at the back there from Planned Paradise. Jamie Moore. First time cheap pieces from Neil Mulholland right at the back.
The
right at the
forecast
back.
is looking
is
a
that
little bit
Claire de Guy
dodgy.
yeah,
behind the
I
back?
know.
You're,
Don't worry. Just
I'm not listening.
I am slightly worried, but
I mean,
We have got 2
Claire
laps.
de Guy looks
2 laps.
white
I
now,
know.
doesn't it? If
Yeah,
anything.
Tom.
But it is, it's perhaps unsurprisingly a pipe horse leading. Is that Django or it's Red Happy?
Yeah,
he's
one
running,
of the
some, he's
Wilson.
running some classy races. This would be a little bit down, but he needs to show a little bit more. In second, Almazar Guard, who likes to get on with it, Lily Pinchin. Big fall last time out. Let's hope he can recover out of that. Becher Chase, lovely sit on the inside with one of the gambles of the race. Banging form, said James Millman about James Williams' stable. He's in 5th. Django there on the outside. Quick Wave got a nice position. If you wanted to know where the Fav is, unsurprisingly, stepping up from 2 mile 5, riding it for a finish out the back at the moment. And Gwen Silly Barbas is the only one I've not mentioned, also about 4 off the back as well. James Millman, 2 have gone clear.
Well, just before the off, Quick Wave became the clear second favourite. There was late money for Venetia's horse, and she is upside Rebels Hill, who is actually 4.8 in the run. Betfair SP of 4.35. So we did actually drift a point in the last 5 minutes before the off.
All right, okay. Robert's catching your eye. Oh, I tell you what, Plan Paradox just isn't jumping at all, is he?
Mate.
I mean, we've got a fair way to go here.
Yeah, we haven't, we?
We've got a fair way to go.
Amazon Gar was my tentative each way selection.
Right, so we're keeping an eye on the London National. All right, you can see the market as it's happening in front of your eyes. And
Yeah, it's a long goal way, isn't
Lily
it? You
Pinchon has
can't-
just opened up here. I've got a funny feeling she's done this in
She used to
in
win
the
a Richard Hobson.
in the Veterans final. She did
Yeah,
this,
the
didn't
grey.
she?
He went flat out and just got caught at the straight. Valadon.
Oh, you've nailed
Is
it.
it Valadon?
You've absolutely nailed it, James Millman.
Valadon.
Valadon, yeah. This is a Lily Pinchon move. I was just about to go and talk about tomorrow, actually, and maybe some anti-post stuff for you out there. But this is quite an interesting move because the chasing pack, Red Happy, who was leading, has now had to ignore Almazar Guard for Charlie Longston, trainer in great form. And this has gone, what, 12 lengths clear?
Yeah.
Approaching the first of the railway fences.
Main rivals are at the back of the field. Rebels Hill was just niggling away, actually, Kevin Brogan, 4.9. Just 2 behind at the moment.
This is
What's
interesting,
Amazon
isn't it?
now? Single figures.
Almazar,
5.9,
yeah, there's 5.8, 5.6, going short enough.
Did you
Hey,
in Rem's down.
whoopie-duppies.
Wow.
Who's gone? In Rem, the gamble's
Favourite
gone.
was very
What did you put up in
I
this?
put up Amazon God.
You did, didn't you? That's
Only
what the
after they
yeah.
jumped, though, no?
We didn't give you the floor because we thought you might just keep going on about
Jockey's
salt.
up okay, that's good.
And this has gone clear. So, right,
This has gone really clear.
the last time you were on, you ended with a winner as well. Was that It was Metier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Metier. This could be a thing.
Well,
This could be a thing.
5.7, they're quite happy.
I'll tell you what, the
5.2.
bumper that was mentioned
Long
at
way to
Fairy
go,
House, by the
but-
way, is really hot. It's about to come up after this, after we go off air.
I mean, similar happened in that Cheltenham Handicap a couple of weeks ago with Nickelback. Do you remember?
Yeah, but Nickelback ran away with a jockey.
Yeah, it was
Lily's
like
actually
wasn't it?
sent this
Yeah,
one.
that's-
Your money was on
Forward.
that, so you watched it very closely.
He runs tomorrow
Very
at
good
Hanningdon, Nickelback.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a great day's racing tomorrow, isn't it? 3 Stripe Life runs in the Drimore. What price is he on the sportsbook for?
Well, you do.
He's about threes.
Was he?
That's a good
What, for the Drimore tomorrow? He's 3s.
That's a good race.
He wins.
So, yeah.
That's a good horse as well. 3 Stripe Life.
Well, I mean, you got also like Marty Potter in there. Also
Yeah, he don't- he can't be 3 Stripe Life. Okay, now this has gone about a fence clear, basically, Almazar Guard. We're got one more circuit to go. If you're thinking that this is all over, it's not. And this isn't Neil Callan at Kempton.
I don't think this is all over.
like they've made a bit
Oh,
of
Dave Orton, that was naughty.
Lily
they've made
Pinchon
a
might
bit
know
of
what she's
ground
doing
up
here. Okay, it was a bit
Slightly.
naughty. All right, this will be the last next time round. And
No,
Almazar Guard.
it's actually right. The last fence for this one, it did hit the top quite badly. It gave that one a little bit of a wallop. It's not.
I'll tell you who is
tired
warming
to
up.
me.
Claire de Guy starting to warm up now.
Yeah, this horse looks a bit tired to me, Dave. I'm just going to say it.
Do you think
I'm only-
Almazar Guard completely falls in a hole?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quick
okay,
Wave's
all
our
right.
new favourite in
Can
the
I
run.
just say that? And
You
if I'm
can.
wrong,
Now this
I'm
is
wrong.
but this is interesting because in these staying marathon chases, you've got to start to get after your horse at one point. When if you're on like Becher Chase at the moment, I'm not sure he can go that extra quick gear. Like you can't
No,
just go
he's-
from 2nd to 5th. You know,
He's niggling already on
you've got to move some. Whereas Revels Hill, this could
next
suit.
to Claire de Guy.
This could suit the closers, like the speedy closers, although it's 3 mile 4. The closing stayers. I think this will suit them. But Almazar Guard at the moment, Lily Pinchon. It'd be lovely to hear what Lily's probably saying at the moment.
I mean,
There's no
she's
one out there.
so
I mean, she's
far
gone
ahead.
30 lengths clear now.
Yeah.
Do you reckon she's saying, what are you doing to me, man?
Not looking like a tired horse yet to me.
Oh, yeah, this is Robbie's
Do you
tip.
know, I think
This
it's
is Robbie's
been
tip.
jumping tired.
The market has come in from
I think it's
5
jumping
to-
tired.
Wow, the bumper at Ferry House is off, by the way, any second now, so we'll keep an eye on that actually for you because there were some tips coming in for that, weren't there? Again, it's really hard to see basically exactly who's there, but Claire de Guy, thankfully, we can see him because he's pretty much white these days. He is just thinking about making a move.
Rebels
Becher Chase
Hill.
now making a
Who's
move.
going to show their hand?
A happy Rebels
Becher
Hill,
Chase.
4.8. Quick Wave, our favourite
No,
still.
it's jumping like a bit tired to me.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nat, as well.
Sorry, but
it's what you would call a reduced lead now,
Yeah, it's
albeit
jumping
12
slowly.
lengths.
It's looking at it's
Yeah,
not
it's
always.
falling in a hole, Rob. You've had a shocker, mate.
I think so.
You've had a
8 to
shocker.
11. Well, back to 6.6.
This is an
Yeah,
interesting
it's
camera
tired.
angle here at Senna because it shows you how undulating it is. A lot of people think it's just
quite a tough little
flat
horse.
tail.
Staying over, mate.
She has got a breather into him.
Yeah, yeah.
Zara
Oh,
Grace
well,
back
okay,
in
look,
the
all of a
fight.
sudden, look, Becher Chase, all of a sudden just having to, he'll just keep going, but this is not ideal for him. He needs to gradually be brought into it. One more flurry still there. Rebel Hill now catches the eye, along with second favourite Eclair de Guy. And Quick Wave is starting to warm up as well for Venetia and Charlie.
Quick Wave's our favourite still,
Interesting.
3.35.
And a horse that no problems, like I say, with fitness
Well, they all
after the
need to
layoff.
start to close.
She's
a
now
bit
only
of the-
8 lengths clear, first of the
But they are
railway, second
closing
time
now.
round. Good.
Just tired.
Overjumped,
Tired.
overjumped. Becher Chase wasn't great there either. Neither was one more flurry. And again, Quick Wave. You can see why favourite now, James, into
It's
2
showing
to
their
1.
hand.
Yeah, Quick Wave is our strong favourite. Our lead
This
is
is-
still 7.6,
This
but
is
it doesn't look
4
like he's
out
going to get
now.
tired. Oh.
Almazar Gold steadies into it.
Tired.
He's got to be tired. I mean, you're hoping he's idling, Rob.
Oh,
yeah.
Look, Becher Chase again. You see what I mean? It's not
Favourite's
like
jumped
he's
that one forward,
beaten.
yeah.
He just doesn't have the gears. Is this Gwensily Barbas on the inside in third for the fights?
5.2.
A horse that won at Exeter, I seem to remember, for Ryan McHugh, the Betfair that day, knocked it out the park. But now a clear Edagee coming as well. Rebels Hill, if you're on that, you're thinking, right,
Yeah, now
right,
or
Brogan,
never,
when are we
isn't it?
going to go?
Now.
Because
Jumped the last badly.
I'm not exactly sure what he's got under the bonnet there, but
No.
Eclair de Guy, absolutely scything through the back. This is a horse that was put to sleep right out the back and now is going for it. Harry Cobden saying, no, this is the time to go. Over the pond fence. Becher Chase still in there fighting. Quick Wave hasn't totally off the bridle yet either. Over
John.
we go. Wouldn't totally
Hey,
discount
Rebels
Becher
a bit
Chase.
sloppy there. Come
Rebels
on.
Hill wasn't brilliant there. Gwensily Barbas not great. It's all about whether this one falls in a heap. This was the expert eye nap for the Racing Post.
1.2.
2 out, we're going. 1.2, my lord. Wow, that was a slow jump as well. But we've got some slow horses in behind. Eclair de Guy's the only danger, surely. OK, we're looking at Charlie Deutsch and loves to look around, doesn't he, Deutsche?
Yeah, he loves it.
He absolutely loves it.
Such a
Rebels Hill's
good
now
guy.
getting going. Surely too late. Steadies into this.
Steady.
Over nice and neat. Now he can shake the reins in it. This is a strong, strong performance on another great day for the Williams stable because Brave Shashka took out what looked like a proper handicap at Aintree. This is one. This looks like it could go around again, doesn't it? If that's not Planned Paradise, is it running on in second?
Yeah.
My lord.
Eclair de Guy in third.
Didn't want to know
Is
early on.
Rebels in fourth?
I think that was Dacia, wasn't it?
Oh.
We're going to the bumper all of a sudden at Ferry House.
Oh.
Right, final race of the day, and it went the way of the very well supported Quick Wave.
Yeah, she was the one of the quartet second in the market that got backed and the run to the off, and then they were always happy. Rebels Hill made a few mistakes, just looked very one-paced. But Charlie
Yeah,
Deutsch
didn't one pace.
up the home straight, very easy, didn't really ask a question, and that's the Venetia big price handicap double on the day.
Where did Lily go?
Lily just got carted away with an Almazar guard, didn't she?
Yeah, fair play, trying something different. I mean, it made the race kind of interesting, didn't it?
Well, it certainly did. It certainly did. It's been a very interesting day as well. It's been great to have you with us. Nat, it's been great to have you again. You'll be driving down for Christmas.
Yeah, sorry, not lots of winners today, but a few placed, so I'll have to just take that, won't we?
Oh,
Driving down for Christmas.
You got it in the end. You got it in the end. Mr. Millman, great to see you.
Yeah, it's been a good day. Good horses. Edwardstone was a star. And
Yeah,
Doubted
I
star.
agree. I
Definitely.
agree.
Some
Yeah.
performance, eh?
And in the Becher as well, we saw the Skeltons taking out another big Saturday race. That's
Yeah,
3 in a row
Skelton's,
now, isn't it?
Venetia, the prominent trainers coming to the fore again.
Yeah, all the
Venetia's got-
Jonbon, of course.
Venetia's got a yard full.
And we go again
Good ones.
next Friday at Cheltenham. We'll be back with you. December Gold Cup, of course, the showpiece on the Saturday. Don't miss it. Barry Orr comes back as well. I've been Dave Orton. Well done to the guys, Dan and Kieran in the gallery as well. And Jonbon, Philby.
You're not
who's
going to say
been
goodbye to
clipping
me,
up.
mate, no?
Well, no. Well, I just was worried you might say salt or pepper for that matter. It'd be great.
I just want
great
to
have
give
you on to
a
coach
shout
them.
out to Nanny Jan. Celebrated her birthday a couple of days ago.
Shall
I
we
forget
watch
how
him?
old she was.
Should we watch them?
77, was it, Jan? I don't know.
Anyway, all right. Well, we'll find out
yeah.
when we go to the pub
Is
after
that your
this.
granny?
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go.
Happy
Miles.
birthday, Granny Jan.
In Maidstone.
Nanny, don't call her Granny.
Nanny. Jan.
Don't do that
Sorry.
again.
Nanny Jan.
Another showdown. See you next weekend, guys. Enjoy the rest of it.